Number 11, Marta Kostyuk. Number 10, Paula Badosa. Number 9, Barbara Kajikova. Number 8, Jasmine Paolini. Number 7, Elena Rybakina. Number 6, Danielle Collins. Number 5, Zhongqing Wen. Number 4, Coco Gauff. Number 3, Jessica Pegula. Number 2, Iga Świątek. And number 1, for the first time in my power rankings history, Aryna Sabalenka.
Ready. Play.
Quick refresh on my top 10. Number 10, Andrei Rublev. Number 9, Tommy Paul. Number 8, Francis Tiafoe. Number 7, Ben Shelton. Number 6, Taylor Fritz. Number 5, Daniel Medvedev. Number 4, Aleksandar Zverev. Number 3, Novak Djokovic. Number 2, Jannik Sinner. And number 1, Carlos Alcaraz. Do let me know your thoughts on my power rankings. Get in those comments below. And tell me whether you agree or disagree.
Ready. Play.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.
Here we are for this very special encounter at the Bonn Open between Jeffrey Blancano against Damir the Demon Jumur. He's very much demonized thus far, showing a bit of frustration after losing the first set. Anyway, the Frenchman to serve 15-30. Bit of pressure on that Frenchman's shoulders, like a couple of baguettes weighing over him. Needs to take some time. No hurry, he says, at 15-30. He's up a set, 2-all here. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go there down the middle, and that is a shank. One that even Stefanos Tsitsipas would be proud of. Get that towel, mop your brow. Return to the baseline where you'll know it's 30-all. Screeches from the other courts. But they don't put this young Frenchman off. Look at him. Prowling, brushing, questioning. Maybe they do put him off. He needs to be focused. It's 30-all, 2-all, tense times here at the Bonn Open. Goes out wide with that, comes into the net, does the volley. Does he put it away? No, he doesn't. But he puts that one away, and his opponent, the demon, Damir Jumur, just cannot believe what has happened to him. I'll tell you what's happened. You've been flummoxed, and you've lost the point. We would take another look at it if we had a replay, but we don't. But who knows? You don't even need a replay. It's in our heads. Okay. The Frenchman to serve. I say you're going out wide. You don't. You go down the tee. Clip the net, though. So he's going to get another shot at it. Is he going to take my advice and go out wide on this one? Did so successfully on that last time for a serve and volley, even though he'd messed up the volley. Goes down the tee again, does come into the net, does a little drop shot, and you know what? Jamur is like, I can't even be bothered to run that down. And he's going to clean that line. Look at this. He's cleaning the line because he's so annoyed with some funny bounces.
Ready. Play.
My name is Clara Towson, and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
I am Francisca George, and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Susan Leemans and I'm a friend of the show.
My name is Zainab Sammaz and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hey guys, my name is Sasha Vickery and I'm a friend of the show.
Boom.
Hi, my name is Lloyd Harris and I'm a friend of the show.
Perfect.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Paolini and I'm a friend of the show.
Wow, Jasmine, you got it in one time.
Oh, yes. I will actually do one thing. Let me. But yeah, you can actually hear me now, so that's no problem. That door in the background, when I have it open, does not look too good on the camera. But well, Nurlan, I think you well, maybe you didn't understand the idea of the power ranking, because how can Zverev be top if he literally cannot beat Djokovic, Alcaraz, or Sinner? Like, he literally cannot do it, you know? And well, even in Cincinnati, when Yannick was struggling, Zverev still struggled to get over the finish line, like, so much. I mean, you know, this is only a match that he loses in his head, really. Yannick isn't like close to his best, so yeah, I don't think a guy like this can be number one in the power rankings. If we're talking about, you know, him maybe having the best draw, like, yeah, that's another conversation. Medvedev at number 3. I do have some issues with that as well. Or was it, who was number 2? Djokovic was number 2, yeah. Number 3, Medvedev. After that, after the top 4, essentially, maybe 5 if you add Daniil. After that, I don't care. You can literally put Dan Evans in there. No one outside of these 5 top guys is winning this US Open. That's something I'm pretty confident about. So even if Dan Evans is at your number 6, sure. You can even put Diego Schwartzman, even though he already lost, at your number 6. And I still won't care. Anyway, why are we even here today is another question. Or actually, no one posed it, so I'm just going to pose it to myself, because maybe some of you are turning on the stream and are thinking, oh, yeah, I mean, what is going on? Why are we roasting some poor guy's power rankings? But anyway, what we're going to do is just going to watch Frances Tiafoe against Aleksandar Kovacevic, the first match in the night session on Louis Armstrong Stadium today. Much more interesting than the Arthur Ashe night session. It's horrible there. Honestly, the US Open organizers just decided we're going to get these, we're going to let these European guys over the ocean get some sleep. But these European guys, or at least one European guy, myself, just said, nah, I'm just going to watch a match on Louis Armstrong instead. And yeah, I like this one. Frances, of course, coming off that Cincinnati final. We'll see how serious he is about it today, how serious he is about this event. And usually about the US Open is pretty damn serious. That's what I can tell you. I mean, he's made the 4th round the last 4 times he's played it. And, well, Kovacevic, he's actually played him in Washington just a month ago, and it was a pretty tight affair. So let's see. Kova, I think, only has 1 top 20 win, and that was against Nori in Los Cabos, wasn't it, last year? So hasn't really been able to touch players of this quality on like a regular basis, but who knows? You get a good serve and forehand type kind of day, get him to neutralize with the slice a bit more as well, and yeah, maybe. In fact, he just plays a fantastic point to get 30-15 up in the very first Tiafoe service game, and this was him really going after that inside-out forehand. I think Kova probably knows what to do, in the sense that he knows that he has to be a little more out there today, and has to go for like bolder choices than usual, maybe. So far, of course, he's supplying that, but it's just 3 points. Let's see anyway if this game from 1530 is going to turn into something interesting. On the changeover, I will probably talk about the other matches going on as well. In New York, of course, Tiafoe will be targeting that backhand return of Kovacevic quite a lot today. We should expect that. I mean, everyone is expecting that. Francis knows he will do it. Kova knows he's going to get sort of big serves coming at that wing. It's just what it is. He has to work his way around it somehow, probably block a lot of his returns like he did here, but just much better, much deeper, and not as slow. And yeah, maybe somehow it won't be a problem. Who knows? I've definitely seen matches where like early on the other player is just serving at the Kovacevic backhand time and time again. But with the reps, the more you do it, eventually he's going to find some rhythm. So yeah, I think there's still potential for Alex to potentially maybe improve on that as the match goes on. Kovacevic has only won one main draw match at a Grand Slam so far, beating Tabilo at the Australian Open. You might remember his second round against Khachanov as well, as he had so many winning chances there and just missed like 1,000 breakpoints. But yeah, otherwise, I mean, it's very hard for him to win matches at Wimbledon or Roland Garros, just not the best natural surface player. Hello Jane, hello Jake, hello Dave. Yeah, fancy meeting you all here, absolutely. I'm surprised. US Open sleepover camp over Australian Open sleepover camp. As far as I know, we haven't had that yet at the US Open. By the way, Nishioka just retired, and he had match points in the fourth set against Kecmanovic, but then he lost it and started cramping. Looks like Shevchenko will get over the line anyway over Kepfer. He also was serving for the match in the third set, but now in the fourth, he's a double breakup. We also have Davidovich, Fokina, and Hijikata, one set all. Chris Eubanks and Arthur Rinderknecht are stuck in a fourth set with Eubanks leading 2-1. And, well, Holger Rune, Brandon Nakashima, of course, that's the biggest story sort of right now, as Brandon is very close to eliminating Holger, maybe in straight sets, maybe like barely dropping games as well. I will probably talk a bit more, of course, on the next changeovers on some of the matches that are going on right now, but I will also tell you that Alia Tomljanovic just made her way into the second round over An Li. And quite a big story brewing up in the women's event is also Magdalinet losing so far to 16-year-old Jovic, who is up a set on her. And, well, with a real shot at winning that one. All right, let's see what Kovacevic can do. There's a backhand cross-court rally between the two guys. Of course, the one-hander of Kovacevic against the two-hander of Tiafoe. It's Francis who is more confident. It's Francis who steps into it earlier, and I think he's going to land this one down the line. Yes, we even see that sort of replay on our screens. Of course, by the time the electronic line calling doesn't call it out, it's not like it's going to change anything, but it's always nice to see where that ball landed if it was a close call. And, well, it landed right on the line, right on the money. And Kovacevic definitely was playing with a bit more loop in that cross-court exchange. And Tiafoe just managed to capitalize on that. And he's also firing a very good return at Kova's feet here. Not much more than Alex can... Alex can't do much more than just block. And he's in some trouble here as well, just like Tiafoe was in the previous game at 1530. Here we have the Kovacevic box with his coach, Hugo Armando, and some ladies that I don't know, but would like to know. Anyway, of course, earlier we also had the coach of Francis Tiafoe, who's now David Witt, the formerly Jessica Pegula and other famous players. Anyway, 30 all as Tiafoe cracks first this time. In the long run, it's probably not going to be that good for Kova to try to set up Francis in rallies like this and just kind of allow him to overwhelm you with how physical he is, with how athletic he is, and the dynamic ball striking as well. But in this case, just waiting for the error works perfectly fine. And serves like that will be needed throughout this contest if Kovacevic is to keep it close. Going hard at the Tiafoe block. Francis cannot make it. And we might soon have a one-game split. But, okay, this serve I don't think was in. Kovacevic serving at 40-30. Again, Tiafoe going hard at the middle, and it's going to give him the point, not sort of in the, not right away, but eventually he still takes it. That should be a good play, definitely, for Francis today to try to hunt his returns down the middle, just make Kovacevic hit these blocks of the backhand. Not much time to set up for anything else, and then usually Tiafoe would get an attackable ball out of it. So far, at least, that's been the case, and you can imagine how this could be working for him the entire match. Just not give Kovacevic any time to settle after the serve. Wow, and what a fantastic shot from Tiafoe as well. Kovacevic had like the half-open court on the +1 forehand, and I can't blame him for thinking that he was probably going to be in control of this. But it's actually Tiafoe who pulls off this brilliant backhand on the run. Out of a defensive position, he just turns the tables on Kovacevic completely, and he will secure the first breakpoint of the match. Needless to say, we do have a pretty big underdog in this match, so it will be far from ideal for him, and also sort of for the tension in this match if it starts with an early break for Tiafoe. But, it's a best-of-5 format, so there's so much more to watch out for today. And this time, Kovacevic actually surprises Tiafoe with his serve placement, I think. Francis probably expecting another second serve deep at his backhand, but Kovacevic changes up to kind of go for a first serve strat, just with a little less space. But with the surprise factor, it's way more than enough. So, still deuce. And let's see what he can do in rallies like this. So far, it's really just Tiafoe, who's so much more dynamic indeed. I'm not saying that Kovacevic is not a good athlete. That's definitely not the case. However, Francis so far is pretty overwhelming in exchanges like this. Just so quick on his feet, so quick with his wrist as well. And he sets up another break point. The second serve is more conventional this time, so we're gonna have a rally. And Tiafoe shanks his forehand, which goes like right into the stands. Of course, if Francis is to make a big run at the US Open, if he is to make a big splash, it's very likely that he would have to beat yet another compatriot of his, probably Ben Shelton, in the third round. And Ben was the guy who eliminated him out of the event last year. That was at the quarterfinal stage back then. Down the tee from Kovacevic here, and well, looks like he might actually get out of this. We'll need some of these first serve percentages to go up as well, probably. But let's see if he can close out. Yes, he can. 1 game all. This was not easy. But, well, at least he maintains the no-break status. And I hear some noises in the background, which might indicate that, yes, Vansh Vermani is here. Hello, Vansh. How are you doing, given that Brandon Nakashima is, well, kind of obliterating Holger Rune?
Yeah, what a scoreline, right? I mean, first 2 sets, you kind of thought, oh, is this like Shanghai, Shanghai 2023, 6-0, 6-2. But then in the third, I definitely expect Holger to raise his level. And, well, he did raise his level to a certain extent. He did save some crucial break points. But he got broken again at 3-all, and Brandon is being ruthless. And, yeah, it's quite a shocking scoreline.
Indeed, Vansh's first word is about Brandon Nakashima, but I forced him into it, so don't blame him for it. It's not his fault. And Nurlan, to your question from like 5 minutes ago, I do not have any siblings, at least that I know of. Some wild things can happen in life, especially if you start watching too much daytime TV, and then you're just like, you're used to all these crazy stories. But anyway, well, Holger, I suppose you're also watching that one, right? I mean,
I do have it, yeah.
That's great. You can just kind of tell us what's happening there, as well. Likely Nakashima will be serving for the match in a game, but, well, who knows? Maybe even this one, it can end right there, as he is 2 points away from the match.
Yeah, just hit a backhand winner down the line of the second serve return, so he's 2 points away from winning this.
I watched just a bit of it, honestly. So is it just another one of these like Rune blowouts where he can't find his forehand at all? Like he lost to Marozhan like this in Miami, for example.
Can't find the forehand, and sometimes isn't calibrating returns, where he's either being overly aggressive on them when he does get a look, or he's not really doing enough with them when the players are hitting their spots, which has kind of been a theme for him this year. That's why he's like so low when it comes to his break percentage. I think he's like at the bottom of the top 50, which is surprising, given his abilities overall.
Yeah, I mean, it's like what, like 3 or 4 performances like this from Runa this year already. I know that we weren't really maybe looking at him as one of the biggest potential contenders for the US Open here, given his draw. But yeah, I mean, losing like that.
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, last year I think he had an excuse to lose early because of his back problems. But this year he really should at least be doing better. And, well, Holger Rune comes up with a drop shot that I thought was going to be very successful, where Brandon just got there and hit a really nice counter redrop on the forehand cross court, and now he has match point.
Did you teach him that? How to get to a drop shot? Was it you who implemented it in Brandon's game?
I will take the credit, even though I don't deserve it. We did have the same coach for a brief while in juniors. So maybe the credit should go to our coach, who also coached Michael Chang.
Must be an old coach then.
Yeah, in his 70s right now. Oh my goodness. Holger does manage to save the first one.
In the meantime, Tiafoe also held for 2-1, but yeah, I think you can just kind of keep talking a bit more about that Rune Nakashima match, as it's so close to the finish. And then, of course, we will have a lot of time to get to Kova and Tiafoe, given it's the best of 5 format, and all the beauty of it today already very visible in some amazing thrillers like Kashnikovsky Martinez, like Well, even Nishioka Kecmanovic, even if we didn't get the 5th set there. And Shank Boblik, of course, was quite fun too. And Holger Rune apparently holds. So that game after the break, that will be quite something. I am actually considering to switch as well, but maybe I will try to watch the next hold of, the next game on serve from Kovacevic first, and then also see how Brandon takes that monumental win and gets to a 3-0 head-to-head lead over Holger Rune potentially. Out-talented.
That means that he would be 3-0 against both Tommy Paul and Holger Rune at the ATP level.
So I guess, Tommy, it's not a true 3-0. No, it's not a true. Because you mentioned at the ATP level, and that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I think Tommy beat him in one challenger match in 2019. So
okay, yeah. So only against Holger. Also, Holger, one of the matches is the next gen finals. So.
Yeah, next gen. So
yeah, I never really know if to count that or not.
It technically shouldn't count. Same with Label Cup, but they do it officially. So
yeah. I did once want to puke when I had to count like a top 20 win for Casper Ruud or something like that over Tommy Paul in Laver Cup.
Yeah.
But next gen finals, I guess I'm fine. Although when I have to include them in like 5th set records, like that's a little iffy. It's such a different format.
Does that actually count in your 5th set record?
Yeah.
Whoa! No way. Okay, that's egregious.
Kind
I
of.
mean, you're literally playing the 4, and it's no ad as well. Like, come on. It's
at least I think it does. I mean, we'd have to check. I guess it's easy to check this with like a player who doesn't have that many matches in the 5th set format yet. In the meantime, Tiafoe with 2 breakpoints. I don't really like where this is heading for Kovacevic, to be honest. Like any baseline rally, he's having a really hard time winning it. Tiafoe is just so dynamic and basically overwhelming him all of these points. He won 1 point in this game, and that was like a +1 forehand that he took super early. But otherwise, like when the rally gets a bit more, it just gets longer, it gets back to neutral. It's been very hard for him to beat Frances. It wasn't really the case in Washington, but I guess, the other player, the star in this match is kind of like more confident in the moment as well. But that's a fabulous point from Kovacevic, actually. This is what I was talking about earlier, that like he kind of needs to go for it here. And if he's going to be sort of adding this much venom to his +1 forehand, that could work. Great volley as well.
Brandon, meanwhile, 2 kind of nervous forehands to start the game.
Okay.
He missed both of them long, so he's down love 30. But he just hit a very good serve out wide. Makes the first serve, so 15.
I'm sorry, Kovacevic. I'm sorry, Tiafoe. I have to see this.
I mean, this 3rd set in general, Brandon has been relying a lot more on his serve rather than his baseline play. Because actually, Holger is being a little bit better about.
I saw quite a lot of the beginning of the 3rd set. Like Holger was really trying everything, throwing the kitchen sink at him, going to the net a lot.
Yeah.
And it was working, at least for a while. I mean, there were a few gutsy holds in there, but in the end, we are still here. We are still with like 2 points away again for Nakashima, but this time on serve. So
yeah, wins another long rally there, which Holger was definitely in, and he had a good forehand cross initially, but couldn't quite time the forehand down the line, and that one was in the middle of the net. So now
couldn't quite time the forehand is like a description of like 50% of Runa's errors, I feel like.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's what's held him back in some big matches this year, and just in general, I mean.
continues to hold him back.
But he does have a look here at a second serve. I'll be interested to see, does he go for broke on this, or does he kind of? It was a very good second serve by Nakashima. Really, really good into the body. It just kind of jammed Runa's forehand, so it brings up match point. Of course, he did have a match point in the previous game as well. So let's see if he can close it out right here on his own serve. Second serve here for Brandon. Going into a forehand rally. Brandon goes cross court with the backhand, and Runa misses the backhand cross court. So Brandon Nakashima gets his first top 15 win in a Grand Slam, and is through to the second round. But the scoreline 6-2, 6-1, 6-4. So Runa makes another quick exit from the US Open.
Yeah, pretty striking for sure. In the meantime, Kovacevic saved 2 breakpoints again. And also, while your friend, Brandon Nakashima, just made it into the US Open second round, pretty much simultaneously, my friend Aleksandar Shevchenko also did. So,
there you go. I mean, Shevchenko badly needed a win this year. So
that's true. That's true. Like, he's been losing a lot this year, a lot more than he's winning. So, a winnable match like this against Kepfer, yeah, I think it's very much needed for him at the moment. And this is actually the potential rival for Kovacevic or Tiafoe.
Okay.
Who is Brandon Nakashima playing? Yeah, of course. Kazo or Carreño Busta? Carreño Busta, most likely.
That'll be tough.
Actually, we'll see.
Tougher.
I mean, it's still winnable. Like, it's you want this draw in your round 2. And that section is pretty open too. If someone can like beat Musetti, and on hard courts, it's not like Musetti is unbeatable. And this is, of course, in the Zverev part of the draw as well, which basically makes his chances even better now that Runa is out. But yeah, it's not the result itself. I mean, it's not the loss itself. It's how it happened that is certainly quite a bit of a wake-up call for Mr. Runa.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I thought he was on the right track after Cincinnati, personally. I mean, just one net court away from the final. But on the other hand, it's kind of a match that also indicated just, some of the scar tissue building up. Like, maybe if you get to the final, just the fact that he couldn't close it out on either one, and then how, like, Tiafoe was so much more error-free in the tiebreak,
Yeah, what do I know about Jovic, Nurlan? Virtually nothing. I know she's 16, she's number 5 in the junior rankings, and that's where my knowledge or lack thereof ends. So, yeah, you're on your own with that. But I don't know. I mean, I remember looking at that match and thinking, why wouldn't she beat Ninette or at least have a shot? I think when Jovic has been playing like any pro events in the last 2 years, she makes the final like 60% of the time. Of course, these aren't events sort of at the quality of the US Open or at the quality of the events that Magda Linette usually plays. But I think Magda is like kind of exactly mediocre enough where like, a great junior having a good day. Why not? But yeah, I've never
seen junior. Have you watched a lot of Maya Joint?
Maya Joint, I've only watched her against Maja Chwalińska, her counterpart from Poland, who she's been crushing. Yeah. And I watched 2 matches of Maya Joint, yes, when she beat Maya in Warsaw and when she beat Maya in the US Open qualifying. But yeah, looks like she's great. I mean, she's supposed to go to college, but they're now thinking whether she should or not, which already tells you, sort of where we are at the age of 19, sort of at the same dilemma that Alex Mikkelsen, for example, was facing last year. So, does look like a pretty good prospect for sure. But I've only seen her twice in a matchup that's clearly very favorable for her.
Yeah, I mean, took out Laura Siegman today and then now plays Madison Keys in the next round,
Okay.
who was also pretty impressive today in a 6-4, 6-1 win over Siniakova.
Yeah, I feel like that was unexpected for Maddie for sure. I mean, all season we've been talking about kind of everything she's doing this year lining up for this huge US Open. Then, of course, there's the injury, and you think, okay, it's all over. But maybe it's not.
Yes, indeed. No, I mean, I remember watching this match in DC, or at least part of it. Kovacevic, Tiafoe, and yeah, I mean, Kovacevic was serving really well there, and he was coming forward, and every time he was like more imposing, he was able to, especially with his forehand, every time he was more assertive with it, he was able to have some success for sure. It wasn't really until the end of the third set where Tiafoe was able to pull away.
Yeah, he finally gets an easier hold for himself as well. And yeah, I think it's going to be all about that quality of the serving and also just staying on top of the points, as often as he feasibly can, because we already saw in this match what's happening when they're like trading more neutral shots, and yeah, how much better Tiafoe is in points like that. Of course, it's great for Kovacevic that he's still on serve here, given that he saved 4 break points.
Yeah.
And there was an interesting comment as well in the chat from, let me find it. I think it was Dave just a second ago. Well, maybe not a second ago, but basically he said that, according to him, I can't find it now. Oh yeah, I think Tiafoe is terrified of playing Shelton. Dude stole his juice last year, which is a very interesting and kind of true note. I mean, we talked about this, I think, on the preview, that like, yeah, Tiafoe was not used to not being the entertainer, was not used to not being the guy who the crowd is cheering for and the guy who the crowd is interacting with, and it did seem to like kind of hit him hard in that match. So.
Yeah, we'll see if they're with Tiafoe having better form coming into this tournament, and not quite the pressure that he had last year of like living up to 2022. We'll see if that makes a difference.
I think there's a bit of pressure. I mean, because of that better form, isn't it? Like Cincinnati.
Yeah, but I think like if he doesn't like, let's say he loses in the. Let's say he doesn't go that deep. I mean, because you have like Novak in the 4th round, so there's only
I actually was gonna say that. I'll give you this: if Novak is still in the tournament by then, and they are playing with Shelton, there's gonna be less pressure, because
so. That's kind of
it's just gonna be the 3rd round, and they're gonna know that in the 4th round the winner just gets a very tough task. So yeah, it's gonna be a bit less pressure. Then, of course, last year they were also playing to face Novak, but by that point it was the semifinals, so.
Yeah.
It was a bit different, yeah. But yeah, sort of like psychologically, this was a very interesting matchup last year, and I'd love to see it again. Sure, to see if sort of Francis can do anything about this and improve on that sort of part of the tennis match that maybe doesn't usually get talked about that often.
There's no denying the fact that Francis's popularity in the US like really skyrocketed after he made that run. Like all the endorsement deals he got. Also, like the Obamas came and watched him, and like just like off the court, he just became like his brand just grew like exponentially with that run to the semis and pushing Alcaraz to 5. That and then he found himself in the top 10 as well in June of next year, and then then he had this result at the US Open, and then like since then, obviously.
But I mean, even Chris Eubanks last year got so much attention for a second, right? So I think in the States, it's kind of like whoever has a run like this, he's gonna get.
And in the States, it's mostly Wimbledon or US Open that people are really caring.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, yeah, Eubanks also happened at Wimbledon, sure.
Yeah.
Like if Aleksandar Kovacevic makes the semifinals at the US Open, he's gonna get similar amount of hype, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean similar amount. I don't know if quite to the level of those two, but yeah, I think.
I think Shelton might be kind of breaking out of that, in that, he doesn't need results like this to still be hyped. But
Yeah.
Eubanks, it's mostly about the result anyway. Jovic just had too much points against Linette, so it's really not progressing too well for the poll. We could have a 0-3 record for the polls as well today. And then tomorrow, of course, it's when Iga Świątek and Hubert Hurkacz come in. So that's when you expect a better record from my country. Probably 100%. This is a great point brewing up here, but it's gonna be Tiafoe in the end. And again, it's kind of the rule that if he's on top of it, he's likely winning it. Checking what's happening as well. Speaking of Chris Eubanks, he is going to the 5th set with Arthur Rinderknecht. But yeah, otherwise quite a few matches just kind of starting up. Also Hijikata up a break in the 3rd set against Davidovich Fokina. Of course, Rinky made the US Open 4th round last year, so defending quite a lot of points. We've already had some of these unexpected 4th rounders from last year fall. So Borna Goyo, of course, in the qualies lost to Bujun Chaukete, and also Dominic Stricker today to Francisco Comesaña. Maybe.
By the way, I'm not surprised that Emma Navarro won, but that scoreline, wow.
I didn't see the scoreline, so let me see. Who did she play even? Brinkova, was it?
Yeah, 1-1.
I mean, Brinkova is on an 8-match losing streak or something.
Yeah, I was just going to say, she's on a big losing streak.
I think it's kind of her beating Navarro here would be as surprising as when she played Rybakina at the Australian Open and won.
Yeah, we're just surprised. I mean, she started the year so well, right? The first 2 or 3 months of the year were really good for her.
She is kind of a hot and cold player, so I think she's eventually probably gonna turn it around. Someone who turned a point around here is Frances Tiafoe. Nice loop on that forehand there. Kind of gets Kovacevic on the stretch and eventually just slowly builds up the point to a moment when he can just smash it away. So one more break point. I mean, he's clearly been the better player so far. Now it's all about making it count, though. Well,
and on Arthur Ashe, we have Sloane Stephens and Clara Burrell, which is definitely not the match that I thought would be on Ashe.
Yeah. Some have been suggesting that this is maybe because Sloane Stephens is retiring. I mean, I don't know. It is one of the possible explanations, to be honest. She's also a former champion of this event. Let's remember that.
Well, that would be 2 in 1 day if Stephens lost. Former champions saying goodbye
to the US Open, yes, but I don't know. It's just as far as I know, it's just a hypothesis. It's not actually. It's just a theory. It's not something that we have confirmed. But I've read tweets like this. Is what I'm trying.
Well, she keeps playing the way she's playing. That'll have to wait because she's up 6-love, 1-love on Burrell and break.
That's the danger, right? I mean, assuming that she would be retiring, that's the danger sometimes with scheduling these players because you just don't know when it's gonna happen. Who was it this year at Wimbledon that people were angry about the sort of where they put her? Kontaveit, right?
Oh, that was the year before, right? Yeah.
Oh, 2023 already. Yeah. It might be that a year has passed. But Anett Kontaveit, I think when she was retiring, she was put on court 6 at Wimbledon or something like that. And people were angry about it. But yeah, I was like, okay, so are they just supposed to put her on center court every single match now? Both things are pretty unrealistic. Anyway, Kovacevic, of course, saved himself with this amazing serve out wide, but now it's going to be another break point as Tiafoe just pulls off an absolute stunner. 0 out of 5 for Tiafoe on the break points. And, it's really time to make this a thing. It's time to make this count.
Yeah, and on grandstand you also have Starodubtseva serving for the first set over Azarenka. So maybe we need Ghosty to switch over to that match and get Azarenka some more life in the first set.
Apparently, Tiafoe has not found the line on the forehand cross, so it's 0 out of 6 on breakpoints now. What a set we have brewing up here. And yes, Starodubtseva, of course, famous for making that 12-0 Grand Slam qualifying round this year. Qualified for all 4 slams.
Yep.
I don't know how rare it is on the women's side, to be honest, but in history, for the men's, we only have 2 examples. So I imagine it's probably quite rare. Turns out as well, and I didn't realize that Radu Albot qualifying for the 10th time is actually the joint record as well. So next slam, we're going to be watching for Radu Albot to break it and qualify for an 11th time.
Who is Albot tied with?
Oh, it's like some random old names. I can probably find it, but...
And then who are the 2 on the men's side who have the 12-0?
Elias Zimmer in 2015 and Frank Dancevic in 2011. Botik van de Zandschulp, a couple of years back in 2021, also made it at all 4 slams, but at Wimbledon he was a lucky loser. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, made the quarters that year of the U.S. Open, right? Was it the same year that he made the quarters? Yeah, it was. Yeah,
that was the year. That was the year. Yeah.
Take a set off of Medvedev that year.
And well, Kovacevic has held, so 0 out of 6 on breakpoints now, Tiafoe. He's had breakpoints in 3 of the 4 return games so far. And in all of them, he had, well, in each of these 3, he had 2 breakpoints each. So, yeah, it's rough. So, yeah, 10, we've got Cristiano Caratti. And I guess that's it. Yeah, it's just Cristiano Caratti, whoever that is. That is tied with Radu Albot right now. That was the old name I was thinking about, but I never would have remembered that. I don't even know when that player was around, to be honest.
I'm trying to see, how old is Jovic? Is she like 15, 16?
16, yeah.
16. Yeah,
so apparently Cristiano Caratti was even number 26, but in like 1991. So yeah, that's the guy who's tied with Radu Albot.
All right. Yeah, Jovic, he made the semis of Wimbledon Juniors this year.
All right,
losing to Jones in the semis.
Yeah, I don't think I watched that. I think I watched the final only.
Yeah, it's giving like CC Bellis vibes. Though CC Bellis was probably 15.
I think CC might have been 15, yeah.
CC Bellis, Katie McNally, players like that who just killed it in juniors and then won a match in the main draw of a major. And for CC Bellis' case, she won because she got to the 3rd round and then lost to Kerber.
Vanj Biciovic, that's interesting, from Nurlan. Okay. I think, John, what you said was actually the case, that Kontaveit was on a show court for round 1, and after that she went to court number 6. So I don't think it was the first round, yeah. Well, yes, Warna, but like, isn't that the same? Hypothesis, theory, rumor. It's kind of the same. I mean, there is a reason why Sloane Stephens is on center court, and well, I don't know what that reason is. Maybe it's nothing. When it comes to your question, Ghosty, though, Starodubtseva, I mean, it's not technically that, but Stare is old, and Dupa is us in Polish, so it's kind of like, old us, and you make an adjective from that or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of funny if you're Polish. Definitely, it's a name like if you're Polish, you're gonna read it and you're like, what? Well, wait, what exactly is your name? That's the reaction everyone has.
This result by Jovic has already been updated on Wikipedia for those who care.
They're quick. They're quick there
very
for
quick.
sure. Do we feel like Qin Zheng has figured out her serving issues? What are her stats? Like, I have to see her stats, to be honest.
Pretty sure she has one of the highest double fold rates, but also one of the highest ace rates.
Yeah, and of course she has that around 50% first serve in percentage, but then once it's actually in, she's winning the most points on the WTA tour basically after her first serve. So
so far hasn't really been an issue for her on clay as much.
I mean, yeah, because it's just not a thing there, right? I mean, to that extent, like you're not going to get attacked. You are going to have an easier time handling the other serve as well. So in general, yeah, there's just not as much sort of impact on the serve. And well, Kovacevic goes low 30 down again. We have a stat on the screen as well about the rallies won over 5 to 8 shots, and it's 8-3 to Tiafoe. Which, yeah, as I would keep saying, basically, that's not surprising given how this match is turning out. And after struggling in basically every single service game of his so far, Kovacevic might be in trouble here again. I'll check the Kinven stats in a second. And, well, it's going to be 3 set points for Francis as well. This has not been too close. This has not been too close, but he's been saving breakpoints left and right. And if he wants to survive, if he wants to stay in the set, he's also going to have to save 3 more in a row. So but I have to say, I also kind of enjoy what I'm seeing re Tiafoe here. He seems really locked in, and not much time for just not wasting time really. He really wants to play here, just play in the most efficient way possible and get this done. And he's in control of this point, and he will put it away as well. Great stuff there in that backhand inside out where he wrong-footed Kovacevic with it and comes into the net. This is a break to love. I mean, this was brewing up the entire set, really. This wasn't one of these sets where one of the players misses a few chances, and then at some point maybe he actually gets broken because, well, that's kind of how it works psychologically. No, this was just a set that Tiafoe dominated from start to finish, even though it's just a 6-4.
Yeah, exactly. And pretty sure we'll see that in the stats as well. When it comes to, the breakpoints, 1 out of 7. And also he made 60% of his first serves, 7 aces. Oh, pretty dominant off the ground as well, winning most of the longer rallies.
It will be tough to find a stat where Kova is leading. Maybe unreturned serves. I don't know. Maybe something with serving in the sense that the quality of the serves he actually puts in they are pretty good. But yeah, anytime we get into neutral mode, it's very tough for him. And yeah, looking at the stats for Zheng, I don't think they've improved that much, to be honest. So basically, the first serve in percentage in 2024. Let's compare it to 2023. It's slightly better. It's slightly better. She's also winning more on first serve, but that could be just due to winning more matches, or I don't know, something like that. The numbers haven't really changed, to be honest. Aces percentage, it was actually higher in 2023. Yeah, it's nothing crazy anyway. I mean, the sort of the strategy for her is still very much the same. And well, she's been finding some big serves when needed recently. That's something that I can say. That second set against Iga at the Olympics, today against Anisimova, there was also the second set where she's firing aces left and right, and she kind of keeps herself in the match long enough for Amanda to just break down completely. So
Yeah. By the way, the Davidovich Fukina Grigor Dimitrov potential round 2 is in jeopardy, with Hijikata serving for a 2-1 lead. Hijikata actually got to the 4th round here last year, and then lost to Francis.
Hijikata, Goyo, Striker. That was the package last year, the surprise package in the 4th round. Goyo and Striker already out of the event.
I remember Goyo beating Vesely before he played Djokovic.
Yeah, Iji couldn't ruin that head-to-head.
Yeah.
And yeah, we also have Chris Eubanks and Arthur Rinderknecht in a 5th setter. But so far, they're on serve. Kazo and Carreño Busta have started. I think only a few matches left. That's, only Nagal, Grigspor, and Albert Djokovic yet to start. But that's fine. After I watch this one, I will definitely not stay up for Albert Djokovic.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like the most boring match on the planet, really. Sorry to both guys, but I just don't think there's any chance for the underdog to win, and he doesn't also play in the most exciting manner. So well, I might actually have like a bit of work to do after we finish this still. But well, even in that case, I probably just won't put on the match unless there's still something happening on the outside.
Unless Radical Bud is, I don't know, like serving for the first set, or he's.
Oh yeah, I mean, then I would definitely turn it on, only to see Novak win the next 4 points with like just basically not missing a shot and asking Radu, what are you gonna do with it? And but well, 10 Grand Slam qualifying attempts, successful Grand Slam qualifying attempts by Radu Albot, one of the qualifying goats. Oh, and by the way, 10 points lost in a row by Kovacevic, but that streak is over very soon, as basically I just hits an ace to get the first point on the board. But of course, with that break to love at the end of the first set, that's how the streak originated. And let's see if there's any turnaround here. First set, Tiafoe was just a bit too clean. Couldn't take the break points, but like he was generating so many that it didn't matter.
Second.
Rinki Hijikata did take that 2-1 lead, so indeed Dimitrov Davidovich Fukina is in danger. By the way, Dimitrov Hijikata, wasn't that a match recently where like Rinki won one game?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess Grigor would be happy with that rival instead of ADF in his second round.
Yeah. ADF who beat him en route to the Monte Carlo final in 2022.
That's true as well, yeah. Well, I was thinking maybe this will be the first easy game for Kovacevic in a while, but from 30 love, it's got into 30 all, and well, we have more pressure points. Kind of explosive on that first forehand, but what will it really mean in the end? Well, Tiafoe will mess up the volley, but yeah, could have been another break point. It wasn't that far off. And Vanch's favorite player, well, maybe second favorite player, or maybe third favorite player. Anyway, Barbora Krejcikova is in the second round.
Oh. Yeah, that's nice. I really want to see a third round. I really want to see a third round between Badosa and Krejcikova. because I think the winner of that could really make a push and go really far in the tournament. At least get
Badosa,
to
semi-final
yeah,
peak.
semi-final to play Azarenka. I mean Sabalenka and the semis, right? Assuming everything pans out in the bottom half. I would also like to see Sabalenka play against Lulu Sun in the second round and fourth round against Keys. Those are also matchups I want to see.
Yeah, it's just that sort of after Madi's recent injury, it didn't seem like Sabalenka Keys is a real possibility, or that if it is, it might not be that entertaining. But maybe after today, we should change that mindset and actually start thinking of that as a very entertaining clash again. Well, another great rally won by Tiafoe, but there's going to be more unreturned serves coming in for Kovacevic. I mean, he's just really desperate for them right now and kind of keeping himself alive in the match by virtue of these bobs. Not
Did you
out of
watch
this
any
game.
of Did you watch any of Zverev today? Because he did lose that second set. I didn't get to watch that, but was it just
No,
like
I wasn't going to.
like just getting into longer matches that he doesn't really need to?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's that much to talk about there, really. I mean, I didn't watch it because I figured, well, he's not losing this. And even when he lost the second set, I was like, nah.
We did also have Berrettini and Runa playing tight first sets and then coming through. Kind of in a similar way.
Yeah, these also weren't really matches. Like, Ramos Vignolas, for him to win three sets on a hard court right now. And Ruud was done after like maybe the first 10 games were quite close, but after that was just over.
I'm sure you did enjoy the fight from Max.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely like just stayed in the match by virtue of determination. Like, obviously Martinez was the much better player throughout, and I think in the end it's really a deserved winner. Like, Martinez just had such an easier time, crushing his forehand, staying on top of the points. It was just kind of one of the quirks, I guess, of the best of 5 format, that like Max was able to just get completely steamrolled in sets 2 and 3, and suddenly something changes. We have that medical timeout for Martinez as well at the start of the 4th set, and suddenly Max brings in the new intensity. But yeah, he was like almost always playing on the back foot there. So even if it's a 5th set tiebreak, yeah, it was a strong effort mentally, but game-wise, it was clear there's a quality gap there right now.
I know we're not on clay, but a match that does kind of interest me is Sumit Nagal against Talon Griekspoor.
If we were on clay, you would favor Nagal more than you do here?
Probably. Just because he's more comfortable on it. But, well, I mean, Nagal, I'm trying to think what he did recently. Didn't he lose to Chorich and Winston-Salem? I think he lost to Chorich, and then he lost in Cincy, I want to say, in qualifying. I forget who he lost to.
Without checking his results, I can more or less tell you what he's doing, right? I mean, he's winning like 1 out of 3 matches on the main tour. Like that's how it's been for a while now.
Since he won those, he won a challenger on clay and around Roland Garros time. I think he won one and then got to the final of another the following week.
He's in the top 100 now based on challenger points rather than main tournaments.
Yeah. Right. Let's see if he can keep it close against Griekspoor. Probably
Why not?
but
I mean,
Talon
not
hasn't
like
been
Talon
like
is
amazing
winning
or
a
anything.
lot of matches. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah. Since he lost that lead to Zverev at Roland Garros, I don't think he's been the same player.
I think this year, like maybe even before losing that lead to Zverev, he wasn't even doing that hot.
Yeah, he just kept running into like top players in like the third round or something, and then losing, right?
Sorta,
like Sinner
yeah.
and Sinner and like Dimonor and I don't know.
Sinner,
like,
he plays a lot, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sinner Grigspor is a match that we've seen far too many times already.
Actually, he was supposed to play
considering
Greek sport. I mean, he was supposed to play Sinner again at Wimbledon, but then Kecmanovic beat him in the second round. And also same against Mickelson Greek sport, and then winner of that would play Sinner in Cincinnati, but Mickelson won. So he's also
not
avoided
in
him a
the
couple
same,
of times.
not in the same half of the draw right now. So yeah,
Yeah.
only in the final they can play in the US Open.
No, I would not watch that match.
I probably would. I mean,
probably
it
would. I'm
be
just
the
kidding.
final,
It's
you know.
just- yeah. We'd have to watch. And maybe it would actually be interesting, but their match in Miami was somewhat interesting for about a 7.5.
If Talon Grigspor makes a Grand Slam final, I am watching it, regardless of the opponent.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay, that was it. Yeah, I mean, Francis is really, like you said, locked in and focused and wanting to get this done as quickly as he can, which isn't always the case with him.
Really
So.
is. Yeah, like he's just in speedrun mode. I obviously said, converting breakpoints has been tough for him, but otherwise, like he just wants to relieve us of our duties, you know. I don't know.
I picked Darderi to beat Baez. Looks like that's gonna go one set all. Darderi has a set point in the second set.
I would have if not for the reset injury or whatever it was, and then he played horribly in Winston-Salem as well. So. This is kind of a key point for Kovacevic. Can he actually convert something like that? That yes, he can. So that's pretty good. It gets him to 30 all. Basically, I was just thinking, if after such a weak block return or something like that from Tiafoe, if he's gonna just sort of allow it to get back to just normal rallying, or is he actually going to stick to the plan? And he did, which might actually give him a great reward here. Ten aces so far, Kovacevic to Tiafoe's 9. That's definitely pretty high ace rate, I think, for Kova after about an hour of play, and for Francis as well, honestly.
Yeah, I think Kova hit 7 aces in the first set, right? So he was tied with Francis there. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. And he's kind of needed every single one of them to stay afloat so far. Oh, there's a net cord and it's gonna stay on his side of the net. Not what he wanted to see at the moment, but then again, this shot never really should have been even close to the net. And it's just a simple put away forehand. And well, there's more breakpoint action coming, I think, for the first time this set. I'm laughing though because Tiafoe cannot believe how many aces Kovacevic is hitting. Kovacevic
How will I
probably
think?
cannot believe. Huh?
Did you see that last return from Francis?
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, Kovacevic probably cannot believe how many deep returns Tiafoe is hitting.
Yeah.
On the other hand, so I think both of them have reasons not to believe how good the other player is in an aspect of the game.
Yep, that was like right at Kova's shoelaces. And now let's see if he can save another breakpoint. He does with another ace.
Yeah. That's gonna be like 12 by now. And well, no reaction, he's just cold-blooded here with this.
And another ace. Wow.
Okay.
I will say Tiafoe, though, statistically is one of the easiest players to ace in the top 50. So I'm not surprised that these really high ace rates usually come against him.
Did you see how Francis moved like very much to his backhand corner just before that first serve?
Yeah, I mean, he's got to do something so he can at least get some of these returns in play. I mean, not that he's as many as then he's the better player.
He was just trying to kind of guess that Kovacevic would go for that again.
Oh,
what a crazy point here. Yeah.
What a hold.
I mean, Tiafoe should have put that smash, overhead volley away. But somehow gets over the line with the help of the great serving again.
Yeah.
So still no breaks in the second set. But
I do sometimes wonder why Tiafoe doesn't move back a little bit on first serve returns, but then when he has tried it in the past, I'm like, oh, okay, that's why. Just because he's not really that he's not really that powered from the back of the court, especially on his backhand, which is a lot flatter. So he doesn't really get the same penetration or the same like effectiveness. He's not really able to like be damaging from behind the baseline. So his game is all about pushing forward, coming forward, playing inside the baseline. That's kind of his whole game.
Yeah, you don't want to spend like the next 3 or 4 shots trying to get back to the baseline if you're someone like him, that's for sure. Which, of course, then might also explain the ace rates and stuff.
Yeah, but I think he'll still, he would take that trade-off just because.
Oh yeah, like it's very planned. Like it's not just something he's doing blindly.
Yeah.
Very much aware of the pros and cons of that, I'm pretty sure.
Kazal is off to a good start in the first set against Carreño Busta. I haven't been watching any of that, but I was a little bit curious to see how Carreño Busta looks physically, especially after he retired in Winston-Salem, because I kind of assumed it wouldn't be anything big, but
yeah, it just didn't look like it. But of course, that can be very misleading. We don't actually know what's inside. We don't have an X-ray in our eyes.
No.
Well, some might. Some people might, but I don't actually.
Yeah. I mean, Winston-Salem turnaround to the US Open is usually it's pretty tricky. I think the best of Winston-Salem winner has done it at the US Open is quarters, maybe. That was Kevin Anderson in 2015.
It also has there's also a correlation of the quality of the field.
That's I was gonna say it is like a 250 with not that strong of a field most of the times.
3 seeded players played Winston-Salem this year. No, maybe 2 only actually. Like the depth of the field is okay, absolutely fine, but
I mean,
there's just no star power really in it. So
it's.
Why would they go deep, Yeah,
I was trying to think if there's one year where we had somebody
like
in the top 10, but I can't really think of one right now. Because unless maybe like Isner one time, but
yeah, exactly. But
or like Berdych, actually, maybe Berdych, 2012. Yeah, he might have been the last guy to like really go deep, but he didn't end up winning. He lost the final to Isner.
Yeah, and I guess then he beat Federer at the US Open. So it's
Yeah.
it's an example, but it's an example from 12 years ago. But yeah, if we have guys like, Adrian Manarino, Lorenzo Sonego winning the title, then we can't really say that it's tough to make the turnaround. Or
Yeah.
Sebastian Baez even, to make it to the US Open and play well there, because, well, for them, playing well at the US Open will be a kind of different standard. Sometimes even right away. I mean, sometimes right away they're going to be facing seeded players. I think this year only Cerundolo maybe, and who else? I don't remember. Draper was supposed... Oh yeah, Baez, of course. Yeah, Baez also played Winston-Salem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
no one
last year
from the top 20 anyway.
Baez won it, and then he lost another. He got to the third round. He beat Juric again in the first round of.
Yeah, but like he did exactly what you would expect him to. Like, because of his Winston-Salem run, no one was expecting him to beat Medvedev. So if it was Medvedev in the third round, but I think it was. So yeah, basically we don't actually know, but yeah, most players who like think about doing like seriously well at the slam, they usually will not appear in an event before that event. Of course, that's more aces from Kovacevic, and this time I think that it's not really even placed that well. Like, maybe this is one of the ones where Tiafoe could have reacted a bit better, but
Just
anyway.
in English, the draw for the French.
Is this Clara Burel?
Just one in English, the draw.
I'm hearing some Clara Burel. Well, I'm actually not hearing Clara Burel, of course. I'm hearing John talking to
Just one in English.
Clara
The
Burel.
draw for the French Open was made today. You're going to be playing Kalinskaya.
Oh, that reaction.
And that, by the way, if someone hasn't seen the full clip, it's not a reaction to her playing Kalinskaya. It's just a reaction to her. Well, she didn't want to know. And John doesn't know French. And well, today against Sloane Stephens, how is it going for her? Has she already lost?
Good question. Stephens is serving for the match right now as we speak. 6-love, 5-4.
Pretty brutal. Pretty brutal. Especially if Stephens is allowed, is gonna announce that, yeah, I'm retiring or something like that. I don't know though. I'm not sure if I'm buying into it fully. I mean, she's won a title this year.
She won Rouen, and she also, she had a decent Australian Open. She is still like kind of capable of a pretty high level. So I don't know. She's only 30.
2 breakpoints for Tiafoe again. This match is just, Kovacevic is hitting aces, unreturned serves, but once we actually get the ball in play, he's usually losing. And that's the case here as well. Huge return from Tiafoe, once again directed at Kova's feet. This has been one of the best plays for him today so far. And he's 6-4.
He's reading that wide serve on the deuce side, which is Kova's favorite, and then gets a really good look at a forehand to be aggressive on, and boom.
Yeah, before Kova even settles, he just gets something right at his feet. And he actually found a very similar forehand down the line of the half volley, just like, 10 games ago. But of course, this time doesn't quite make it. So Tiafoe so far really dominant in this match, regardless of kind of the scoreline maybe still looking relatively close. But 6-4, 4-2. If nothing changes, we're going to be with Frances having a 2-set-to-love lead in no time, really.
Yeah, and also speaking of matches that Novak has played a million times, Struff. The first set, so he will.
Hasn't it been though like a few years since they last played?
Probably, but they were playing each other like quite a bit at that point.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And like we just kept seeing it over and over.
There was a
2020, he
moment.
did actually get a set, so that was the only set that Novak lost before the final of the Australian Open.
There was a moment for sure when they were like in every single draw next to each other. Yeah. I think there was a Cincinnati run where like Struff was playing so well, and we were thinking that like, yeah, maybe this is the moment, and then he won like 4 games,
like
maybe.
Cincinnati, not US Open. I mean, like Cincinnati, not Cincinnati, like at the US Open.
Yeah. Cincinnati in New York, yes.
Yeah.
That edition, yes. Very confusing when you have to mention it in a stat somewhere or something like that. It's gotta remember to say at the event, not at the venue or something like that, basically. But anyway, of course, at the time it made sense. It was the middle of the COVID pandemic. They just wanted to keep
there
the
we go.
players
More
bubble.
Ben Stiller, Diego Schwartzman love.
We did?
Yeah, I'm just basing it off of this tweet that John has on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but the question is, was he actually there, live, in the stands? I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that. I did see some of the match though, and I saw Schwartzman take the first set. And yeah, Kyrgios's Twitter has been a mess lately, but he did take the time to, I guess, show some love for Casper Ruud, even though they had a feud like 5 years ago. But hey,
Actually, I have not had any good wine since I hate wine.
Eubanks and Rinderknecht are in a battle right now. They are locked in at 4-all in the 5th.
In fact, I think I've been clean since Porto. I don't think I've drank a single milliliter of alcohol since. So
Wow, look at you, 1 month sober.
1 month sober. Is that where I should start already, like getting the pins or something like that? I don't know. The chips. I think it's the chips that they use. No, I'm planning to change that relatively soon, but I don't know. So far, the beginning of the US Open is pretty hectic. So there's also the Szczecin Challenger coming, and they have that players' party there. Shevchenko not coming this year. So I'm joking,
no.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you never really know which players will show up and sort of, if they're going to have fun or if they're just going to sit there. So I don't know. Maybe it will be a lame one. But we'll see. Francis Tiafoe, definitely. Well, he's drinking right now, but I don't think it's alcohol. And he's still doing very, very well. 6-4, 5-2. There was a 40-30 situation or something like that in this game. But, well, Kovacevic can find the aces and unreturned serves, but so can Tiafoe. Almost matching him in that department, but pretty much beating him in everything else so far. So after the break.
Ever since John played that short of Clara Burrell on that screen, she's found some life.
Ooh.
And she broke Sloane Stephens' back and looks like she's pulling ahead in this set.
I mean, Clara Buller loves John, because that was the first time when she found out, like, that was the moment, like, she thought that it was going to be better for her not to know, but then she actually knew that it was Karinskaya she was going to play, and she was like, oh, what a relief. Thank you to that journalist from Germany, Great Britain, or whatever John was sort of known for in Strasbourg. And she figured, yeah, that was a good guy. That was someone who really helped me with my tennis career. And we have this link with Clara Burel now.
What was it? Oh, John put a comment about Stefanos being asked who is the most underrated player on tour. He said, without a doubt, Struff. That does not surprise me.
The most what?
Stefanos being asked who is the most underrated player on tour.
Underrated, okay. Underrated, yeah. I mean, Stefanos, let's be honest. The fact that the guy can slam big serves and big shots at your backhand does not exactly make him, that underrated. You basically
I
chose
thought it
your
was gonna
worst
be
matchup, and you're like, yeah, that guy's
Two
underrated.
for Jerry.
Yeah.
Pick a name.
There must be someone else as well who has been like, destroying Steph. I can't say Arthur Fils. I guess they played just once.
Dennis Shapovalov. He has a good head-to-head. It's like 4-2. He destroyed him in Miami. But they don't.
But
play
yeah,
that
of
often.
course, there's a very kind of like a trope, of a player who can beat Stefanos Tsitsipas, and
One of those is
it's
definitely Kokonakis, who plays tomorrow. So
Kokinakis. Yeah,
we'll see.
He does have the skill set. He almost beat him some time ago when Steph was a bit more confident on hard courts. So I don't know. We'll see. Do we have any update regarding the coaching situation of Stefanos Tsitsipas?
I think we still just have the Greek Davis Cup captain in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the dad was there in the box when he played in Cincy. Like, he still travels with them, but he wasn't like there, like physically. So we'll see.
He's gonna be hiding somewhere in the stadium in sunglasses and
Yeah.
I don't know. If Stefanos Tsitsipas makes the final at the US Open, will Apostolos be allowed into his box? Or will he also have to watch from somewhere? From the hotel room?
Yeah.
It's gonna be a whole family, the mom, Pavlos, Petros, but the dad is gonna be just like, hiding in some corner and seeing if the camera spots him or not.
Yeah. The day after Paulo Badosa lifts the title. Now we're just
that's now a couple of longer rallies that Kovacevic won, and this one, is just on Tiafoe. The first point of the game may be somewhat promising for Alex. The fact that he was able to maybe outfox Tiafoe a little bit in that fast-paced sort of just let's pick up our shots early. Let's keep going cross-court, forehand, half volley exchange. But it's 15-30. Pretty much I think there was also a 15-30 on the Tiafoe serve in the very first game of the match, but not many chances since for Kovacevic. And Tiafoe finds an ace out wide, finds the Kovacevic special. Alex also kind of guessing to see where that will go. And he did not guess right, just in case anyone was wondering. Yeah, block returns like this likely aren't going to do much, especially with Tiafoe when he's so focused as he's been today so far. So we've got a set point for Tiafoe after about 1 hour, 20 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. So on the women's side, what other upsets would you say we had today? I mean, we obviously had Sakari losing in the first round.
Sakari, but it's an injury, but I guess still deserves a mention.
Yeah, we almost had Anisimova, knocking out.
It would not be an upset, that's like a 50-50 match. I know strictly via ranking now, but
via seeds, I guess.
Jovic, I guess, that's a thing.
That's probably the biggest sort of completed one on paper. Even though
if Starobceva beats Azarenka.
Yeah. Azarenka turned that around, won the second set 6-1. Clara Burrell really turned it around and won the second set 7-5. So, and that was from 3-love double breakdown in the second set and getting bageled in the first. So, Sloan retirement watch still on.
I mean, Frances Tiafoe approaches to the Kovacevic backhand, and he really shouldn't be winning this point, but it's not that easy for Kova to find the pass of that wing. And it's going to be another
I've seen this in the past that Francis is pretty comfortable whenever he's able to get it to Kova's backhand, come forward, and he doesn't even need to hit a volley a lot of the times.
Yeah, I remember like 2 years ago or something like that, Kovacevic hit this incredible backhand pass on the on the Challenger Tour, and I remember tweeting something like posting the video and saying that it's a very sound strategy to approach to the Kovacevic backhand, but sometimes it can do this, and then he liked the video, and I was like, well. Well, I mean, I think he's pretty realistic about what that shot is, and he wasn't angry at me saying that it's a pretty sound strategy, but it's still a pretty sound strategy 2 years later. He's improved it in some ways, definitely adding the slice, neutralizing a bit better with it, but of course it
So
would be
I'm gonna say,
impossible to win,
I
to
would
make
like
a
him to
pass.
use the slice a little bit more, like just change up the rhythm, go more
I'd
down
like
the
to
line
see
with
it,
it.
yeah. But in a spot like this, it would give him nothing though, right?
Yeah, I think it wouldn't be that effective here, and he's also not getting a whole lot of time to do it.
Yeah.
As well. Francis is just all over every single short ball, basically.
He's not allowed to kind of like hang in these rallies and try to survive, which I think he's done that remarkably well in some very big matches. Last year, he won 4 Challenger titles, and I think at least 3 of these finals against Borges, especially against Wu, he won literally by neutralizing and kind of
I
staying
watched
in
the
the
one
rally.
against Wu, like almost start to finish, and I was just like, that was such a big part of the win.
It was, yeah. So I think he can do it, but yeah, so far today it's not really been an option. And again, like we started talking about this after France's approach to it. Of course, when someone is approaching, you're not gonna 99% of the time you're not gonna be able to pass them with a slice. So
yeah.
But yeah, Borges, Wu, and I was thinking of that Temuco final at the end of the year as well. Who the hell was that against? Gilbert
Was it
Clear Jr.
Nicholson? No, never mind. It wasn't him.
I think it was Gilbert Clear Jr. Who are you thinking of?
No, never mind. I know Mickelson went on a tear in the Challengers, but
Mickelson. I think he played Mickelson in, but basically Mickelson stopped playing around like Knoxville and stuff, and Kova still went to Brasilia and Temuco, and in Brasilia he lost to Fonseca, but then he won Temuco, I think, over Clear Jr. But yeah, I think Mickelson Kovacevic might have happened at some point there. In like Knoxville, Charlottesville, or whatever, one of these events. I just think Alex won that much probably. But yeah, we are closing the roof, are we?
Are we?
I don't know. They're showing me some like footage of the mechanisms. But I'm not sure because it was happening like not really in real time. Well, I mean, it was happening in real time, and that's why even if it was closing, I wouldn't really notice like the drastic change or anything like that. But I don't know. Anyway, let's see. 6-4, 6-3. Francis Tiafoe the first 2 sets. Kovacevic to serve first in the third. Obviously, it's so vital for him to get on the board. So far, it's just been a very tough match for him. I mean, I don't even think he's doing anything, particularly wrong. He's just outclassed so far. Yeah, Eubanks and Rinderknecht heading towards a 5th set tiebreak, which obviously would be a pretty fitting way to end the match, I think, for guys like that. Just one more game needed from the Frenchman there in order for us to get that exactly that outcome. Oh, Jesus, are you talking actually about that A Nightmare on Elm Street remake? Please don't even watch that. That was horrible. The whole remake trend in horror was... ouch.
So we have
And
about
yeah.
6-5 on Internash in the fifth. Looks like we're gonna get another fifth set super breaker there. Might actually tune in for that, just for the super breaker.
Sure. Jetta up 2 breaks in the second set on Struff. I think that match is like, well, it wasn't really considered to be close by anyone, but that's mostly only because of the Jetta form and like kind of how he hasn't kickstarted himself like again after the injury. But well, I mean, if he's fit, there's no reason that he should be like, you know, he has to lose.
What was Jero's injury?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm not really that sure about it, but I know like since between Monte Carlo and Roland Garros, he didn't play like anything.
Exactly, yeah, he was out for 2 months. It was some sort of like surgical thing as well, elbow surgery. But yeah, I mean, last week he went to Winston-Salem, which is actually usually a pretty good event for him. He made the final in 2022, and well, his performance there was not much to be said, really. It was pretty horrible. But if he's fit, I mean, I don't think he has to lose to Struff. He also took 2 sets of Novak Djokovic at the US Open last year, and that, of course, could be his second round opponent. Kovacevic, what a backhand down the line. He wins that exchange. The few times we've had them going for something like this, just trading backhands cross, usually it was Tiafoe who was more confident. He was the guy breaking out of it earlier, but now it's Kovacevic just slamming this one. And he gets that first game on the board as a reward as well. Great replay here. Lots of shape cross court and then just flattening it out completely down the line. They also replayed, they also put a replay on his face, and I'd say there was a bit more relief there rather than actual joy that he landed it. What a close call. And with the human eye, it would be impossible to get that. But because we have the technology, we know that Frances Tiafoe very likely missed that shot. I'm saying very likely because, of course, everything has its margin for error. And, well, there's another very close miss here. So it's going to be love 30 on the Tiafoe serve. I think 15-30, as I mentioned last set, it's happened twice. But love 30, it's the first time. What were you saying?
I was at the Player Hotel after Kovacevic and Tiafoe played, and he and his coach were like talking for over an hour about the match, and they were really hoping to get another crack at Francis and try to do something differently when they would play each other. So the fact that they're playing each other this quickly, and if Kovacevic leaves, let's say losing this pretty handily in 3 sets, that would be rough. But if he can make a go of it here in the third and, you know, salvage a little bit of that momentum, I'm sure he'd be more happy with the result. But so far, to be honest, he hasn't really done a whole lot wrong. It's just been, you know, a difference in class.
He's outclassed, yeah. But maybe this is his moment. Gets that aggressive forehand in, and he's gonna wrap it up as well. So 2 breakpoints for Kovacevic. This is indeed his moment. This is the moment where,
he was stepping in a little bit more here, and Tiafoe was on the back foot in this rally, so he was able to get something short.
You can finally get something, or you can just make sure that the match stays the same way. 2 out of 10 for now. Tiafoe on breakpoints. Kovacevic.
And this is Kovacevic's first break chance. So that just tells you how dominant Tiafoe has been in this match.
and how important this is to get this done somehow.
Yeah. And he has a second serve to work with, and he went way back and returned that. Got some good depth on the
This
backhand
time,
as
no
well.
one is willing to break out of that cross-court trade, basically.
Yeah.
And, well, in the end, it was Tiafoe who was right to stay in it.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, where's Eubanks at right now? Are they in a tiebreak, or did he already wrap it up before the tiebreak?
It was like
no, they
30
are in the
all.
tiebreak. So
A second ago, it was 30 all, but yeah, they're going to play a tiebreak now.
I will have that on another screen.
Go, go, go. Yeah, definitely. One more chance for Kovacevic. And again, on the second serve, this will sting if he can't do it. Especially as Tiafoe's second serve, he have been awful. And this time he capitalizes on that. Finds that deep return down the middle that Francis has been really hunting the entire match. Now he kind of uses his weapon against him.
So it is Eubanks, so this is a point on his second serve. This is a forehand. I'm sorry, I meant Rinderknecht wins the first point of the tiebreak, hence he gets the break. And so he's serving up 2-love.
Almost a jumping back and return from Kovacevic there. And he gets that break. This is how he can turn the match around. Just gotta stick to it. Gotta maintain it somehow.
Looks like Rinderknecht consolidates both his service points after going up 1-love, and it's now 3-love in the fifth set tiebreak. So Eubanks is down an early mini break. I'll keep you updated later with that. I'm going to watch Tiafoe and Kovacevic as well. See if Kova can consolidate his break of serve.
Wow.
Oh, okay. He tries to go for a little drop shot. He had the whole court there.
This was very promising because the forehand he hit, like he was falling backwards. He kind of generated a lot of pace out of nowhere.
I don't think he needed to go for that, but
Yeah. Then again, I mean, he lands it, and we're saying like, "Ooh, nice.
Yeah,
That's a good one. That's a good one."
It just, wasn't that close, unfortunately. So, Eubanks wins the next 2 points. It's 3-2. Rinderknecht still up the break. Tiafoe with another one of those cross-court forehand returns. At love 30. We'll see if... but this time it's Kova who's able to get that point.
Yeah, Tiafoe taking time away very well, generally, but...
Yeah.
Ooh, that's some interesting stats on my screen. 11%. Yeah, but of course it's just a couple of games, but still, it must be like 1 out of 9 or something like that. Well, this is a first serve in play, but it's in play. It's only that, really. And now it's Tiafoe going for a drop shot, which will win him the point eventually.
It will, yes. And he has great feel on that shot, the cross-court dropper on the backhand. It's like that short slice that brings players forward.
I think it's pretty much... Well, maybe the second time he's played a shot like this match, but the first one was like a much clearer opportunity to do it. So probably the surprise factor was also pretty high. And yeah, 2 breakpoints right back.
You'll have a second serve to work with. Trading backhands again.
Oh.
But this time it is Francis who finds the backhand down the line.
I wasn't even sure if Kova found the backhand cross at first, but it's on the line.
Yeah.
Francis just landing that fully like on the run, backhand down the line counter a few times already in this match. This one pretty important as it lands him the break. And well, we might as well forget about the last two games and how they went because they are pretty much irrelevant now.
Yeah. Chris Eubanks, by the way, just missed a volley on the forehand side. And had he made this, I mean, he would have gotten the break back.
Chris Eubanks missed a volley.
5-2.
Impossible.
Yeah, on the forehand wing, he had this one for sure, but
while we have a changeover, I'll probably check out a few points from that as well. Nothing better than a fifth set tiebreak.
Eubanks definitely a little bit tired. A little bit more tired compared to Rinderknecht. He's also having to work harder on his service in this 10-point tiebreak. Just one loose error on the forehand.
Stretching his legs as well.
Yeah.
He seems to be really on the brink of, well, if not exhaustion, then just...
The winner of this to play Andrei Rublev in the second round. We have seen Eubanks pull off two good escapes this year in final set tiebreaks. Actually, coming into the match with Mickelson and Winston-Salem, he hadn't lost a deciding set tiebreak all year.
But he beat Evans, I suppose.
Yeah, the Evans, the 2 match point saves in Miami. And then also the round before Mickelson. He got through that, saved a couple of match points. Who's that against? Safiullin, maybe. Yeah. So,
and he gets the mini break back here. First point, he was also very close approaching, and then Rinderknecht lobs him, but I didn't really feel like it was with much control. But now he's in, ahead of the point again on return, and he slams that forehand cross court for a winner. So yeah.
Eubanks has got to do it for the 6'8" single-handed backhand boys.
Who's also part of the club, Pechi Pericard.
Yeah.
Might be more or less that. I mean.
Yeah, I think that's about it. It's a 2-member club right now. This switch ends now at 6-all.
Yes, Ashley Novak is playing tonight after Clara Burrell and Sloane Stevens on Arthur Ashe.
Yes, actually, John Isner, but John Isner's like 6'10", 6'11", so.
And not a single-hander.
Not a single-hander, yeah. Looks like Kovacevic being more imposing again with the forehand here. Taking a little bit more time away, so he's able to get to 15-30.
Kazo completely dominating Carreño Busta so far, so maybe Pablo isn't too healthy after all. And Jaren Struff already won set all.
Burrell and Stephens at 2-all on Ashe as well in the third. Well, it's probably the match I'm going to watch after switch to after this tiebreak is over, actually.
Yeah, but this time it's Rinderknecht again, up a mini break.
Yeah, he finds just enough on that backhand pass. Eubanks having to really stretch for that backhand volley and not in a great position, so It's Rindernesh with the advantage now at 7-6.
2 big serves, and the tiebreak should be pretty much done, but let's see. The last couple of points he had on serve, he was like really made to work hard.
Oh, and Kovacevic with 2 break points now against Tiafoe.
Right.
And a second serve to work with.
Chris Eubanks trying to pick up this backhand half volley of the baseline. It's not one of the most pleasing sights in tennis. He's trying a lot of inventive stuff on that wing. It's usually the same effects though.
Yeah,
and it will be 3 match points, Arthur Rinderknech. Ay.
Tiafoe, by the way, really nice backhand volley to save the first break point. And it looks like Rinderknech does consolidate. As I think Eubanks missed a return. Is that what happened? So
it was either a return or the first shot after, but anyway, it was pretty close. Like he was trying to block off his forehand and it just went into the net. It was nothing special really. But well, what's a bit special is his ace to save the first match point. Of course, 2 more to come. 1 more on his serve, 1 more on Arthur's.
Tiafoe saving the second break point as well with an unreturned serve. Eubanks hitting an ace at 6-9. And Stephens breaks in the third to go up 3-2.
It's a very entertaining rally on the second match point of Eubanks Rinderknech. We're going to have Chris Eubanks slice approaching again. But this time, I mean, when a giant like this is just running towards the net, even if the approach isn't perfect, sometimes you might get a bit scared, right?
Yeah, and this is not a backhand that Rinderknech missed at 6-0, you know. It was a very similar type of shot. He managed to get it low across court, make Eubanks stretch, and this time he didn't even find the court.
I think he usually hits that very well.
Yeah.
Not this time, though, but still 1 more match point, and this one will be on serve. Finds the first one, probably done. We'll see.
By the way, Rinky Hijikata just beat Davidovich Fokina from 3-1 down in the fourth. Reeled off 5 games in a row.
There's no first serve from Arthur Rinderknech as well.
Yeah. Definitely feeling some nerves.
I hate this play. I really do.
I guess I'm going to see it now. So let's see. I mean, he just left a lot of court there, and he tried to go all out on that return.
Didn't really actually go all out. Yeah.
So,
I mean, Eubanks running around basically running around his backhand for the second serve return, but he goes straight at Rinderknech. The Frenchman actually has quite a lot of time to pull off this half volley-ish +1 forehand into the open court. Just needed to do even more if you're gonna leave it all wide open like this, and he didn't.
I guess he was just really hoping that forehand inside in would just like do a lot more than it did, and it didn't at all. Like it was, you know, he would have been better off just like trying to block the backhand return and not try to run around it. But easy to say.
Sick Kovacevic backhand return winner cross court. I mean, this is definitely one of his best patches of the match, probably the best, and it would be great to leave it with some sort of a lead. But it only gets him to deuce here.
Yeah. So Chris Eubanks still just outside the top 100, right? That's about where he's been at all year, yeah. In terms of level. About 100 to 110 in the world. He did also get to the semis of Newport, which saved him just a little bit. Otherwise, his ranking would be even worse.
One more breakpoint coming for Kovacevic. This time the Tiafoe approach to the backhand isn't as easy for him. And he gets a pretty tough backhand pass from Kovacevic. Gets to it on the stretch, can't get it over the net. So there's a breakpoint coming for Kovacevic. Third breakpoint in this game already. He already led 2-0 in the set.
Sebastian Baez takes the third set 6-love over Darderi. Lost the second in a tiebreak.
Lovely stuff from Tiafoe. Didn't really have too much time on this, but he wrong foots Kovacevic again. Kova, a pretty decent athlete, but he couldn't just almost impossible to get this one back. 3 breakpoints saved by Tiafoe already. If he gets through this game, if he gets through something like this could be very well the moment when he sort of fends off all potential issues. We'll see. Yeah. Definitely the start of the third set has been the most competitive we've seen in this match.
Azarenka racing now, up 4-1 double break in the third.
Yeah, I think Starodubtseva for her amazing Grand Slam qualies record is kind of, well, at the higher level, she doesn't really hold up. Ooh, Frances with a drop shot that seemed relatively okay, but actually Kovacevic is in some sort of turbo mode right now.
Kovacevic right now is just playing really well. He's hit the strong patch in the match where he's just reading the plays a bit better. He's being more imposing, and he's got to capitalize on this with a break. Otherwise, it's break and a hold as well.
Keeps getting the second serves as well from Tiafoe. One of them earlier in this game, he just slammed for a cross-court winner. Frances gets some really good angle on that second set, though. He should be approaching here and easily gets this done. Smart as well to check, just wait for the Kovacevic backhand to fall onto the court and then put it away.
Yeah, he's had a lot of success with that, kind of going behind Kovacevic on the backhand, getting something short, putting it away, or just Kovacevic not able to get that ball quite back in play. And also just when he's approaching that side in general, he can anticipate a backhand volley, or sometimes Kovacevic can't even make it in the court. But still, Kova's playing well enough that this is an interesting set so far. Let's see.
You're kidding me.
Whoa, what a shot.
Frances never should have gone cross-court there, but
but
I don't
still,
know
how did you find that?
I don't know how Alex made
around
it
the
anyway.
net post. Was that around the net post?
I don't know. Right? I want to see the replay. I think it was close. Probably not, maybe, but yeah, let's see.
Yeah, also this return right at him.
Yeah, I don't think it's around the net post, but it's certainly a pretty crazy get.
Whoa. Yeah, not quite. I'm seeing the replay now.
I think it went over it, but still a crazy shot, and it sets him up with another breakpoint. Oh my god, another crazy rally. Hasn't done much wrong here again.
No.
But Tiafoe survives.
Yeah, I thought for a second that Kova would be able to sneak that point because Frances let that volley drop off a bit. It's also a very good forehand defensive shot from Kova initially. So
he actually pretty much everything he played in this rally was okay. The return wasn't the return was a bit better than you would think, given what Tiafoe played from it. Again, that defensive shot was cool because it forces a tough volley out of Frances, and maybe could have been a little bit better on that last pass, but he was doing it sprinting, so it's never easy to even know what direction you're gonna be going for there. 12 minutes already in this game, but it might be that Tiafoe is just gonna close it out as he has a game point. And this could be a very crucial one. And he is going to put it away. kind of looking very casual at it, but
Yeah.
he finds that backhand line. This was a full-on Fabio Fognini shot.
Yeah. Just barely any sort of movement or take back. Just
Bending, no bending the knees, zero legs involved. Yeah, it's just pure natural skill, really. So yeah, after that 12-minute game, still two games all. So Kovacevic has nothing to show for his pretty great start to the opening set. I mean, to the third set.
Arthur Kozo, by the way, 6.63 over Carreño Busta.
Yeah, that probably suggests Carreño Busta isn't fine.
Yeah, I'm not watching it, but I would assume so.
The crowd is still taking their seats. The players, of course, not too pleased with it. The delay, especially Kovacevic, who is supposed to serve.
Stephens is 2 holds away now. It's up 4-3 and a break on Ash.
I think it's fair to say that that delay did not stop Kovacevic or did not hamper him in any way, as he finds another ace.
Yeah, what's the ace count now?
I don't know, but if you sort of are watching a point on Kovacevic's serve in this match and you're like, I'm not sure what the outcome of the next point is, your best bet is ace.
Mm. Do you see any similarities with the way, let's say, Daniel Oldmeyer approaches this game and Kovacevic?
Ooh, interesting.
They're not the most like their games really depend on their forehands. Whenever they're like proactive with it, and they're like, stepping in, putting pressure on the other guy with it, they tend to have the most success. And their backhand is kind of is what it is. I'd still take Altmaier's backhand over Kovas.
Yeah,
but I think they're similar in some ways.
Maybe a little, but Altmaier is still, of course, a very different, in terms of what he prefers in terms of the court speed and the sort of opponents and just the game plan as well, how he can mix it up, how he can defend.
He's like kind of I guess more of a clay court version.
Yeah, Kova just kind of at the top level, Kova just needs to go for it. He needs to hit he needs to be hitting massive serves, huge forehands. Altmaier has different ways to win as well. In challengers, Kova also has different ways to win, as we mentioned, like the match against Ibing Hu, for example. But on the main tour, I don't think he does.
Yeah, I think he also prefers first strike tennis more, whereas Altmaier, that's not really his go-to.
I mean, one can pull it off, the other can't. Yeah. I just remembered as well that at 4 a.m. my time, there's going to be Ibing Hu against Norbert Gombosch in Zhangjiagang. So in fact, what I might do is just watch that before I go to bed.
What time is it right now for you? 3?
6 past 3.
Wow. Yeah,
for the US Open,
this is me during the Australian Open.
Yeah, for the US Open, it's kind of important to set your body clock a little different. But I like this time zone. I like this time zone of the US Open, actually.
Yeah.
And the challengers this week are pretty nicely sort of crafted around it too, where you've got China in the very the wee morning, if you may, and then you have 3 European challengers, and then you watch the US Open. So it's kind of good. Life is good. And yeah, Kovacevic held in the end. Maybe he can keep piling on the pressure on Tiafoe. Busta up a break, and Kriegspor is so far just destroying Talon. Sumit Nagal, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you all catch the Musetti versus Opelka match? I caught a bit of it. 5-3, 40 love up, of course, in the fourth set for Riley. Lorenzo was returning pretty well, though, in general.
Yeah. In general, he's been returning big servers well. The
Yeah.
past few months. Even somebody like Jari in Cincinnati.
Pecci Pericard twice.
Pecci Pericard twice.
Well, I wouldn't say that in Stuttgart he was returning his serve well. He was returning his serve well at Wimbledon, though. And speaking of Giovanni Pecci Pericard, there was a question about this from Brazy as well. Am I surprised that Gio Pecci Pericard lost at the straights? I mean, a little bit, but apparently he was struggling with some sort of a finger issue. I don't know. Today he played like Giovanni Pecci Pericard from last year.
So Echeverry, what section of the draw is that? What seed would Echeverry have in the third round?
You have to check that. Thomas Martin Echeverry will play Francisco Cerundolo in the second round, and then Miller or Zverev. So yeah.
At the Zverev section, okay.
Again, we have someone sort of potentially dangerous going out. We check where he is in the draw, and he's in the Zverev section. So
yeah. By the way, Clara Burrell breaking back. So it's 4-all in the third.
Come on, Clara. Who has more of a coin toss per match, Stevens or Keys? They both can beat anyone on a good day, but the good days are like 20% of the time. The rest of the time, who knows? I think it's clearly Sloane. Like Madison, this year she was in fantastic form where she actually got a bit predictable. But for Sloane, it's just not happening. What a forehand pass as well from Kovacevic. I mean, he's been a living highlight reel this entire third set.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can still say that he's getting outclassed. I mean, maybe, but at the same time, he's just hitting spectacular shot after spectacular shot. Maybe it's not.
He's played really well. Like he doesn't have that much to show for it yet, but he's like competing really well. He's hitting a ton of highlight reel points, but he's also like just not really doing anything wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's just incredibly unfortunate for him that he doesn't have anything to show for it. And of course, he had, he could have done it. Like he had some impact in it. And yeah, the roof is closed now, so.
Okay.
I don't know if this is just related to the hour or if it's just some rain that they're expecting. Anyway, 3 games all. Not yet 2 hours on the clock, but I think we'll get there very soon. So yeah, if this is going to be a straight set affair, it's actually going to be a relatively competitive straight set affair, looking at the time and looking at some of the very long games in the third set. But well, let's see. Maybe Kova still has more in him. Hopefully it's not gonna rain for Zhang Zhegang because in Zhang Zhegang, because now I'm really like I like this plan, of staying up to watch Wu Gombosh. That's a massive match. But my plan would be ruined if it rained. So hopefully China will be clear tonight as well.
Well, the plans of Clara Burrell upsetting Sloane Stephens is set and double break lead. We'll have to wait because Stephens will serve for the match now. 5-4.
The retirement party is not going to be. I don't know. I mean, obviously, this is a rumor, as we said earlier. So I wouldn't even say it's a rumor. Like it's.
Swarna asks, "Is it over for you, Banks? What if he goes on a nice run in some challengers post US Open?"
Yeah, he seems to want to play. Like he's signed up for events. He's played Lincoln. He's played whatever else, right? He signed up for Columbus in the week that we got the entry list for today. So it seems like he's going to play, and he's got a chance at like finishing top 100 still. We have to remember that last year after Atlanta, he didn't do anything, like literally anything on the tour. So he's got a lot of points that he can potentially gain. And I think he's good enough to sort of hang around the top 100, hang around the, let's say, 80, 120 range. It's very hard for him to...
He had 3 really awesome ATP events, right? He had Miami,
Mallorca, and Wimbledon, yeah.
Those were the signature 3.
I think the results like results like this will be tough for him to get back to quickly. But like hanging around, it's
he
very
has Newport and Winston-Salem.
And Halle.
Quarterfinal. Oh, and Halle, quarterfinal. Oh, that's a match he probably should have won against Jung, maybe 5-2 in the third.
Absolutely. So
and then lost to Sinner in the semis.
So Eubanks looks like he's in for the grind, which is already something. Dan Evans, for example, did not sign up for any challengers in that week after Davis Cup.
Yeah. Sloane is now 3 points away from her 90th major match win.
90th major match, okay. And of course, it's 30-all, so Kovacevic just blasts 2 aces to get the game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I think we're just probably going to get a tiebreak, most likely in this set. That's my prediction. Probably Francis wins it in a tiebreak, but let's see.
Kinda worth remembering that Sloane also, besides winning a title, also made another final. So it wasn't kind of like a total flash in the pan.
She also made Australian Open semis in 2013, beating
that
Serena
was like
Williams.
way back. Yeah.
And then she also made Wimbledon quarterfinal in 2015, I want to say.
I think so.
That sounds right. Yeah. She lost to... No, it was 2013 where she made the quarters, I think. And she lost to Bartoli, who ended up winning it. So...
the Wimbledon where everyone had a chance, like their best chance to win, basically.
Yeah. That Radwanska Lisicki match in the semis. Oof.
That was the title right there. That was the only real shot.
Yeah.
Maybe 2014 Australia as well. That maybe was the other shot.
That must have been such an awesome tournament for you guys. You had Kubot in the quarters. You had Janovic in the semis, up a set on Murray. You had Radwanska coming so close again to a back-to-back Wimbledon finals.
Yeah, I remember watching Kubot Janovic at home. I remember watching their forefront matches, but actually by the time Radwanska and Nishitsky were playing, I was hiking in the mountains, I think, and my mom.
Oh my goodness, Clara Burrell is so crafty in this game, dude. She hit like 2 really awesome drop shots, like just so sublime. Like, and Sloane was trying, like chasing me down. 15-40 now.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Break points. Oh, I mean, these were just some amazing drop shots.
Promising. Of course, we are rooting for Clara Burrell. We love her on Talking Tennis. John is learning French, especially specifically to talk to Clara Burrell. in her native tongue.
Stephens has only won 8 out of 21 first serve points in this set, but she did save that one with an unreturned serve. So 30-40, second serve here.
Looks like Tiafoe will hold easily. There was a bit of a funky point, but
with some amazing finesse again, you know, crushing and rushing the backhand, then hitting a forehand volley that stays so low, angles it cross court. Stephens actually gets there. Really nice get, and almost looks like she might squeeze this pass down the line, but Burrell with a really clutch backhand volley up high above her shoulders. Hits it over here and into the open court and breaks. So it's 5-all.
You're describing these points to me, and it doesn't feel like they are coming from a match of Clara Burrell and Sloane Stephens. Well, maybe Sloane Stephens, but Clara Burrell.
But Clara Burrell, I mean, these are like 3 really good finesse shots that she hits in this game. Like 3 points where like Sloane like didn't do anything wrong, but Burrell just came up with the goods. And now she just injects pace on this backhand down the line. And they're trading backhand cross courts. And yeah, she's really feeling it right now. She can consolidate here. In this set, there have been 6 breaks of serve. 3 for each player, by the way. So...
Well, somehow, out of 40 love for Tiafoe, we are now at deuce. I can't really tell you why. I mean, I don't know. I mean, stuff happened, you know. There was a slice rally where he made the error first. Now he's approaching the net also on a slice. Kovacevic actually runs around, and then I guess
we have been
pass.
praising Kova a lot in this set, but do you think there's like a little bit of like a level drop from Francis, or is it mostly just like natural course of a 5-set match?
I think it's quite natural. It seems quite natural.
Yeah. I think so too.
He's not like Kova is not allowing him to overwhelm him that easily anymore, and yeah, it takes a while to kind of react to that.
Well, I think tennis is just coming really natural to Clara Burrell right now because she's just in the zone here. 40 love. And yeah, she hits another really good. This time she goes after the first serve, gets an unreturned again, and wow, 6-5. Sloane is very confused. Like, what do I have to do to win a point? So
Clara Burrell entering God mode was not on her bingo card tonight. Tiafoe slice approaching again. The guy is just crazy, but he wins it this time. And it is going to be 4 games all.
So don't be surprised if you see your Twitter with like Clara Burrell won this match and then like screenshots of like 6-3 love and 6-4
yet again.
Yeah, so original.
Bigger comeback story for Clara Burrell becoming a friend of the show. Yeah, it would be bigger, I think, than winning this one.
I'm just really curious now about this match because I mean, if Sloane loses it, what if those rumors are valid? We'll see. I will say amongst a lot of the players, I think Sloane is pretty well prepared for her career after tennis. Like that's the feeling that I get. She's pretty good with the mic in her hand.
Kova missed this. Oh yeah, another great start. Love 15. Just a forehand, like literally, Tiafoe was not even gonna chase it, and he missed it long. This was a JJ Wool.
In English, the draw for the French Open was made today. You're going to be playing Kalinskaya.
Do you think Clara would recognize John if they passed each other in the hallway? My guess is no. It's been a few months. Although it would be very funny if she just sort of stopped him, put him against the wall, and said, "You ruined my life. You ruined my career."
Okay, well,
You
Stephens is
journalistic
down
people.
to 15 here.
This is a super fun point between Kovacevic and Tiafoe. They're both like running literally any spot on the court, and it's a lovely short slice from Kovacevic to kind of force Tiafoe to come up with whatever sort of answer and just make a decision quickly. That decision turns out to be wrong. 15 shots, which is apparently the longest rally in this match.
Second serve by Sloane Stephens. Clara Burrell crushing a forehand. Like just putting everything into this. Going cross court. Going down the line on her forehand. Gets a shorter ball. Forehand inside out winner by Clara Burrell. So 15-30. She's really hitting out of her skin right now. And also a lot of magic in that 5-4 game when Sloane was serving for the match. So, yeah, this is some seriously good tennis right now from Clara. She's 2 points away from winning this.
We've got a Clara already in our friend of the show list, so I don't know. Maybe they would have to fight for that spot.
Oh, and this time they're in a longer rally, but Sloane misses the backhand. Way wide. So now it's 15-40. Double match point. Is it a double career point, though? This seemed extremely unlikely at one point in this match. And that's wide again on the backhand. And Clara Burrell is not celebrating that hard for what is a pretty awesome win for her. And they go up to the net, they shake hands, but it's like a very kind of muted celebration right now from Clara. Just a quiet little fist pump, smile to her team, waving her racket. The crowd, obviously, not that excited as well. They were rooting for Sloane. So, but you got to give Clara a lot of credit, especially towards the end of that third set, how she really just stepped up and took it to Sloane. Played with a lot of variety as well, a lot of good combinations of offense and court smarts. That's a lot of matches now lost for Sloane, but let's see if there's any kind of wave to the crowd, ceremony, any kind of a thing. Nope. Looks like just another kind of ordinary run-of-the-mill, handshake, finish, and walk off the court. I don't see any kind of a tribute, anything. So
now we know then. It was just, blind coincidence that she played Ash night session.
Maybe it's just, Grand Slam champion, popular American.
Former champion of the event as well, of this particular event, Well, I mean, it wasn't that outrageous.
What other match would you really put in instead? And it had to be a women's match, so I'm not sure. Golf already played. Maybe I think Golf probably requests Day. Like she wants Day.
Could be, but let's imagine you're an Arthur Ashe spectator, and you buy tickets, and then you know that it's Clara Burrell playing Sloane Stephens and Novak Djokovic against Radu Albot. I mean, in the end, Burrell Stephens, it ended up being good value, but
But I wouldn't be surprised if Coco is just asking Day, and they're.
It's possible, yeah. They don't have to.
We already saw that last year with the Ostapenko match, for instance, in the quarters, where it was very clear that Goff wanted that to be a Day match.
So, on the women's side, when you have 3 matches left, Aleksandrova and Tomova into the first set tiebreak, Bronzetti up 5-3 on Lulu San, but Lulu San has 2 breakpoints. And of course, Priscilla Hon will be playing Arina Sabalenka later. Kazo and Carreño Busta are interrupted due to rain.
Okay, so yeah.
The other matches aren't, though, so far.
There's roofs on the first two courts, right? Armstrong
Yeah.
and Ash.
So that's why they closed the roof earlier, basically. Yeah.
Yeah. And the US Open is out with their Clara Burrell won this match 6-love, 3-love, 30-15.
They're trying to be hip.
Did they not go with the 4-1 lead as well? I mean, I'm pretty sure it was 6-love, 4-1 double break. Maybe she was also ahead in that game.
Yeah, they feel like that this one is closer too.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe it was like a love breakback. I'm just checking right now. Yeah, it was. She was broken at 15 from 4-1 double breakup, so sure. Makes sense. I'd probably go with that one as well. So
Wow, just more insane points from Kovacevic right now. Really making sure that he's not on the defense too much with that backhand cross court on open stance, and then he's back in it. And once he smells the chance, once he actually believes he can end the point, he's gonna hunt that forehand, unlike in the opening two sets, really. So yeah, Tiafoe will have to be cautious here, as not much is coming easy to him right at the moment.
Timova of Bulgaria about to take the first set. Victoria Timova against Aleksandrova.
And that's a double fault from Tiafoe to go love 30 down.
Okay, so we have left 30 now.
Yeah, just 2 points away from the set, Kovacevic.
Yeah, that was
great double fault the match.
Yeah. I think Kova deserves a reward for how well he's played this set. So let's see if he's able to cash in here. But Tiafoe hits an ace.
He was kind of unfortunate to never get get any lead, really.
Yeah, I think he just had that one moment at 2-love, but wasn't really to do there.
John said that he wouldn't recognize Clara Burrell, so well, that actually makes sense. Like if I met Clara Burrell on the street, I don't know if I would recognize her, to be honest. But
yeah, well, another very, very good serve +1 from Francis there, forehand winner. Sparna says Aleksandrova hasn't played well since Miami. Yeah, I mean Miami tends to be an event where she always peaks.
Grass, didn't she have another good run on grass?
I think Hertogenbosch, but she ended up losing in Hertogenbosch, I want to say.
I mean, yeah, but it was like what, semis or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's her favorite event.
Kovacevic was kind of on top of this point from the get-go, and he's gonna get a set point.
Yeah.
Crashing the forehand inside out cross court, then running into the next one, and really making Tiafoe stretch for it. Gets that break point, which is also a set point.
Yep.
And well, as you said, he kind of deserves it.
I think so, but let's see if he's gonna get it here at set point.
We've seen some extremely vulnerable second serves from Tiafoe on previous breakpoints. This one is not that dissimilar.
Very similar point, huh? Let's see how it pans out. Oh, and this time he gets it. Wow. Yeah.
Gets it.
He gets the reward. And it's very well deserved, we have to say.
Yeah, it was really making Tiafoe run for it here.
Yeah. So
one great counter Francis got in play, one he didn't. Oh, wow.
Better with Lulu's son, who's coming from Monterrey, from the Monterrey final against Nashkova. lost that first set against Bronzetti.
Yeah, Lusan apparently retired.
Oh, it looks like she retired. Yeah. Dang. So we're not going to get the match that I really wanted. Lusan against Sabalenka. Second round. But maybe that just indicates it wouldn't have been that competitive. So. Darderi making a push in the fourth. He's up a break on Baez after getting bageled. And Kovacevic apparently made 100% of his returns on second serve in this set. He broke twice. He hit 15 winners. Both of them hit 15 winners. I have to say that was a pretty high quality set of tennis from both. Kovacevic being just a little bit better.
Huge loss for WTA fans, which I guess is probably about Lulu Sun rather than Sloane. I don't know. And well, part of me is excited about the rest of this match. Part of me is like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were probably maybe also part of you hoping that it was gonna be a straight sets, maybe like a tie break, and then Tiafoe.
Kinda, yeah. Not gonna lie.
Was this like the only one you could do today, in terms of your
Not
schedule?
really.
Or
I mean, my schedule is very fluid, so
yeah.
In the end, actually, what would have suited me better was something a bit earlier, but I just didn't know it really at the time. Although things a bit earlier, they're not great because I can't really follow a few matches at the same time if we're doing this. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
Kinda like these
Runa, Brendan
nights.
Nakashima, we could have done that, but I guess we didn't. I didn't really plan that ahead of time with John.
Yeah.
But that could have been a good one to do.
This seemed like a very natural choice. I mean, originally John asked me about Djokovic Albot, and I was like, yeah, no, not in a billion years. I'd die out of boredom watching that match, and I also would bore everyone to death. So, most certainly not. Looks like Tiafoe took the toilet break or whatever. Kovacevic just chilling, eating something, drinking something.
Well, tomorrow we have some good men's matches. We have Zhang versus Draper. We'll know where Alex de Minaur is at when he plays Marcos Giron. We have Belucci Wawrinka. We have Medchik Auger-Aliassime. We have Tsitsipas Kokonakis. So many good matches. I'm sure you'll love Halys versus Vartanen. That seems like totally up your alley.
Damien, thoughts on Max's performance today? Was pretty much outclassed. I mean, Martinez was almost the better player throughout, but obviously the way he fought was pretty impressive. Sets 2 and 3 just gets completely steamrolled. He doesn't have anything left physically, really, but turns out that suddenly he can turn it around, bring more intensity again. Some great shots in the 5th set as well, but it always felt like he was a bit on the back foot. Petro just so much easier for him really to like end the points right away. Just there's more quality on the ball really of both wings. When he was serving for it in the 5th set, he hit a couple of like awful forehand midcourt errors, but after that he was back to like dominating in the match again really. So in the end, I think it's a deserved winner there really. For Max, obviously great experience, but Pedro won like what 25 more points or something like that. It's kind of a wonder that even got to that 5th set tiebreak. And Francis is back on the court. Maybe he will bring some new energy. Maybe he can gift some of that to me. As I'm entering Struggle Town. Population, me.
Oh, Kecmanovic retired apparently, huh?
Nishioka.
No, sorry, Nishioka retired, my bad.
Yeah. He had match points in the 4th set, but then started cramping.
That's a bummer.
I mean, he did it to himself, to be honest. He really should have closed out in 4, and then none of that happens.
Yeah. By the way, Louis Armstrong is the place to be tomorrow. Like all 5 matches are, well, at least 4 of the matches are really good.
What is it? I don't remember.
Collins versus Dolehide.
That's not good.
Ostapenko against Osaka.
No, that's obviously good.
Lajovic against Medvedev.
That's not good at all.
Yeah, Andreescu against Paulini. That's gonna be
Okay.
good. Sonego against Paul. So like 4 of those 5 are good.
Sonego against Paul.
Intrigued with Medvedev as well, but
That's unwatchable.
Which one?
Sonego Paul.
No, I mean like Sonego, like how well he played in the final of Winston-Salem. I'm curious actually, because I think and with Tommy not having great hardcore prep, I think it could be quite good.
I just don't find either player exciting to watch, and Dolehide Collins is not a good match either.
Again, Collins intrigue and final slam.
I'm excited. I mean, sure, I want to know the result, but you know, I'll watch her when she has some real opponents.
Come on, Dolehide is a good player. Okay, he has
she's okay. I mean, you know, she
has a
loses the
pretty good
Guadalajara points, and she's like 40 spots lower in the rankings.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it could be good.
And Lajovic Medvedev, yeah, that's 2 hours at least, but still straight sets.
I think.
And we're back. Aleksandar Kovacevic starting the 4th set. He did not start it with an ace, or at least he didn't start it with an ace of the first serve. Well, yeah, he did not start it with an ace. And
Tiafoe did start it with a backhand winner down the line.
Yeah, and he looks like he's kind of, you know, I want to get this done. I want to get this sort of, even in the first game, I'm really going to attack you. So the ace count for Kovacevic is on 21.
Expo, by the way, absolutely destroying Nagal. The Indian cannot wait to go back on clay.
When will he go back on clay, though? February, maybe.
Yeah, we'll have to wait a long time. Maybe he and Mariano Navone can go together. Until then, they'll just keep winning challengers.
Well, there's the aces. The aces flowing in. The unreturned serves as well for Kovacevic. So
yeah, let's see how long Kova can actually keep this up. I mean, It's been a pretty high level from him since the start of the third. Even towards the end of the second as well, when he was getting into more Tiafoe service games.
That's a funny point. Tiafoe again slamming that return at his feet. Kova just like very casually puts it away with the backhand. For a second, I think both players are a little confused, but it's a point. It's a game.
I have to say tomorrow is a lot more interesting than today in terms of potential popcorn matches. I mean, Feast versus Tien, yes, please.
And that's not even on one of the like big courts.
I mean, even the so-called, like, you also have Medjedovic Morojan, you also have Alcaraz back, you also have Sinner McDonald, which surprisingly I'm very intrigued by. Only because their last two matches as well. Well, with everything surrounding Sinner, but also Sinner McDonald Paris was quite close. I want to say the DC final 3 years ago was quite close as well. I'm not expecting it to be that close, of course, but I don't know.
I'm not gonna turn that much on.
I probably won't either unless there's some jeopardy, but we'll see. How about Matthew Forbes as well? Winning that Kalamazoo title. Got the wild card. Will play Roman Safulin.
Yeah, I checked his rivals in Kalamazoo. Other than Westendik, there's no one that I can recognize really.
Let's see what other matches.
His pro results, I mean, he's played like 5 matches, so yeah, Matthew Forbes is a complete enigma to me, basically.
How about Raducanu Cannon? Who's winning that? I'm gonna go with Emma.
Probably. I mean, Kenyon plays like 2 good matches a year.
I'll say 3 sets, though. I think Cannon can sneak a set. Shelby Rogers retirement against Jessica Pegula.
That might be a bit brutal.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, we also have Putin Seva against Nashkova. Oh, that sounds good. But Nashkova coming back from Monterey as well, winning her first WTA title. That means we have 2 teenagers in the top 25 in the rankings on the WTA. Mira Andreeva.
When is Kokogov's birthday?
March 2004, so she's 20. Diana Schneider is April
I was just
2004.
asking, where in the year, yeah.
So you have another teenager also, Ashton Kruger, taking on Xiang Shuai, who just can't win a match for her life. I think she's at like 23 match losing streak or something.
22, I think.
Yeah, about to be 23 tomorrow, probably.
She beat the record.
Oh, how about Muhova against Volinets? That's also sneaky good. The winner of that to play Ostapenko in Osaka. Oh.
If it's Muhova, it's sneaky good, but if it's Volinets to play Ostapenko or Osaka, then...
It would be really funny if Volinets is the one who's just in the third round. I'd laugh so hard.
It would be very funny, yeah. Nurland would be pleased.
Impossible.
Nurland is a big Katie Volinets fan.
How many games is Rakimova getting off of Ostapenko, off of Swiatek tomorrow?
Doesn't really depend on Rakimova.
Yeah, I'm going to say like maybe 5 or 6 max, but let's see. Let's say Avanesian is in with a good chance to beat Haddad Maya. She's a slight underdog though, but I'd probably take her to win. Oh, you also have Fernandez versus Potapova. Forgot about that one. I feel like they played each other before, and Fernandez has won every single time. Yep.
They definitely have played each other before.
4-0
The last
head-to-head
year or so.
Fernandez. Yep. They played in the clay court season. I think Rome, or no, they played in Strasbourg. Never mind. Played in Strasbourg.
That's another ace from Kovacevic as he goes 2-up. I mean, it's looking good, / it's not looking good, because I'm starting to think that this match really will not end anytime soon.
Who's winning Menchik against Felix? I'll still probably go Felix. Menchik hasn't been in form.
Yeah.
It's been a while since Menchik has played good
Manchik
tennis.
plays at his peak level and he's winning that easily. But how is that? How possible is it that he's going to? Probably not really. I mean, for me, it's just gonna be the same tournament for Felix as the most recent ones. Like, he gets there, he beats the guys he's supposed to beat, and then he loses to like pretty badly to someone like Alcaraz and stuff.
Yeah, I could see that. How about Khachanov and Evans? Has Khachanov ever beaten Evans? No, he hasn't.
No.
Evans is up 4-0.
In 4 matches, he hasn't, yeah.
But
Dan has some very interesting head-to-heads about him.
Yeah, I think we talked about it before, how he struggles against players with variety and single-handed backhands. In general, people who play really creative tennis, they tend to do well against Khachanov's more, I would say, mechanical, robotic type of tennis, but pretty consistent.
Yeah, but also these guys who like the sort of one-dimensional pace that he brings, like someone like Shevchenko loved playing him, for example.
RBA as well, right? I think he did very well against him.
Seems like there's a lot of types of players who can do well against Khachanov.
Yeah, honestly, there are a lot of them.
I don't really know what's happening to Tiafoe at the moment, but
yeah, he's having a little bit of an energy lull, it seems like.
Yeah, he is.
He's got to lock in again, like he did in the second set to get the break.
He's been a bit of a non-factor in this match for the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like something he can just
really
bring
have
up.
that energy, and he's playing with a little bit less intensity for some reason. Let's see if that's gonna continue.
Whereas
look at that
Kovacevic just has
forehand.
1,000 more intensity, basically. Like he's
And
multiplied.
right now he really has to be on it, because Kovacevic has not at all dropped his level from the previous set, and he's now won 6 points in a row. Because he also held it love in the previous game.
Yeah, the first 2 sets, Francis's game was like coming together so nicely, and now it's just a big mess.
Yep.
Clarity has gone a bit.
Where's the first serve in this game? I think it's Kovacevic getting a lot more second serve looks as well and stepping in. Oh, I should have won that point. Should be love 40.
Yeah, but gotta go for it.
Yep. Jera and Struff in a third set tiebreak, and Kazal with a break point to serve for a straight set win over Krenya Busta.
What a short-lived return to form for the Spaniard, but yeah, he probably wasn't fit today, I would assume.
Yeah. I'm still kind of optimistic though about his ability to get back in the top 50 rather quickly.
Let's see about the health.
Which is kind of a question mark.
Kovacevic surviving in the point at the help of the slice, but he will not end up winning it anyway. 40-30. I don't know. Yeah, maybe now it's maybe Frances is kind of arriving at a bit of a shot. Get through this game somehow, and
that's all it really takes. I mean,
try to get over the crisis.
There was a slower second serve as well, 82 miles per hour, and just
all of them have been like this, honestly. Like Tiafoe is putting in serves like that constantly. 75 I've seen already.
Right. Kovacevic using the slice a lot more now in these cross-court rallies.
But while he hasn't made an error, Tiafoe finds that precision on the inside out to eventually win the point.
I see Gil Gross there in the front row. Working for US Open Radio. So he's right there, sort of where Tiafoe's towel box is. I think he's right there. Yeah. He's on Tiafoe's end in the front row, near the radar gun.
Once again, we're waiting because they let the crowd in and they haven't taken.
By the way, I mean, Lulu's son, Shawarma, that was a very, very brutal turnaround for her. I mean, she was playing in Monterey at like Saturday night, like it was a night final, and such a quick turnaround. I mean, but hey, she picked up 300 points or whatever how much ever you get for getting to a 500 final in the WTA.
It's more like 330 or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. So that will really help her. I would probably take that at this point in her time more than that's already better than a slam round 4, right? So
yeah, sometimes it is like this, like when no, maybe this is not a good example, but like Lechechka, when he won Adelaide, he won 250 points, right? And he saved a lot of the points that he had for the Australian Open quarterfinal. It's not that easy, of course, to get to a slam second week, and sometimes getting that 250 title for these sort of like players who aren't contenders to win the whole slam, it definitely can be worth it.
For sure.
And I mean, Kovacevic is still kind of flying out there. It's funny that now it's Tiafoe who kind of has to like wait him out, in a way.
Yeah, Kovacevic with the double faults at 40-12, but still.
Lulusan was destroyed by the WTA schedule. Horrible. What does the schedule have to do with it?
With the night final on Saturday, I think, and then the quick turnaround.
I mean, but that was still on Saturday,
Yep. And
Winston-Salem it was at a similar hour as Winston-Salem, really. Unless you want to talk about the flight from Monterey to New York, and sure, that's actually an argument.
Salem final was a bit earlier in the day, though. It wasn't that as late as the Monterey one.
Pretty similar.
In Salem, I think they had their final at 5 p.m. local time, whereas Monterey was like 9 p.m. So
okay, I guess, yeah.
But that's just how they do it in Mexico. Like they love playing night matches. Like that's how it is every time in Acapulco and Guadalajara.
Yeah. There's a lot of Italian challengers as well that they can start like 8:30 or 9 their finals. Personally, I would hate that, but
yeah. See.
And especially I think for players as well, and for guys like me who would be flying out of the event at some point, like it just makes things a lot more tricky. But well, 3-2 Kovacevic eventually.
Radu Albot 2-1 over Djokovic.
Last time he holds a lead in that match. And Aleksandrova won a bagel second set over Tomova.
Yeah.
So they are now starting the third. Few results earlier I see that I kind of missed, but most of them weren't that exciting in the first place. I mean, Kostyuk beating Kessler, for example, or yeah,
Struff
basically.
and Jere in a third set tiebreak, with Struff having a set point. Jere, I think, had a set point as well in the third.
I mean, Jere was like 6-2 up.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's not
6-2
just yeah.
up, wow.
I didn't know this tiebreak was still going.
Yeah, I stopped checking after.
I mean, Jere once famously had a streak of like 18 tiebreaks lost in a row.
Yes. And he also had 2 set points before the tiebreak. So he has 1, 2, let's see, like 7 set points already.
7 set points in total. 7 set points in the third set and 2 set points in the first set.
And he lost it.
So yeah, you've got 9 set points across 2 sets he lost. And Darderi will be serving for to get to that 5th set with Baez as well. And I think he was also already like almost down and out there. Oh, well, he had to serve to stay in it only.
Yeah.
That was the only thing.
And so now we have Kazo against Nakashima for a place in the third round.
Brandon, right. Wasn't that a match last year? Yeah. Brest.
Sounds right, yeah.
One of the French indoor challengers just before Bergamo, and Kazo won in straight sets. Yeah. I mean, in 3 sets. But it was one of these matches where like he was actually forced to defend quite a lot, and he was counter punching and yeah, managed to beat Brandon like this. It was the one just before Bergamo. In Bergamo, Brandon lost to Draper, and that was the one event he played before then. And I think it was the Brest Challenger.
Okay.
Yes, he has closed it out. Struff 2-1 up. Darderi trying to serve, and we also have Nagal Hrikspor 4-all in the third set. Of course, there's just one match also that has not started yet, and that's gonna be Hon against Sabalenka, but that's not on. That's gonna be after Kovacevic Tiafoe. So, well, it might still be a while if Kovacevic is blasting backhands like this. What an insane shot here!
Going back on the second serve return, giving himself a little bit more time.
He's doing that a lot here. Like he's rarely attacking these second serve returns from Frances. Most of the time, that's the strategy. And I guess right now, now that he's actually winning rallies, that's not a bad one. Because earlier in the match, he was like not winning any longer exchange.
I also wonder because the roof closed, I think it slowed down the conditions a bit more. Like Armstrong was playing quicker during the day, I definitely find, especially the matches I was watching. So just that little bit of extra time is also maybe helping Kovacevic get a bit more depth on his shots.
Okay, Frances was expecting the ball to fly out. Somehow we are still in the rally, even though he played that shot like very casually, and then Kovacevic hit a smash. And somehow we are still in that rally, actually.
Yeah, there were a couple of lines there that I didn't think were in.
Exactly, yeah, that one shot from Tiafoe that was on the baseline. But you know what? In the end, I think he missed the smash, didn't he? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So 30-all. But yeah, there were like 2 or 3 shots here that no one was sure if they were in.
He was like tapping his chest like, okay, I got this, and then he had to play again. It was very...
But yeah, on the replay, we can see that the smash was definitely out.
Yeah. Shocking news of the century, Novak Djokovic just broke serve.
Oh, so it will be the last time that he led when he was 2-1 up. Gonna be a close call, but apparently that return from Kovacevic was out.
And Baez has broken back. So that one's going to a 4th set tiebreak.
Baez and Darderi also cannot stop running into each other. I think it's their 5th meeting on the tour, 4th this year, and they also played in the Bundesliga recently.
Okay. What is that, like exhibitions in Germany? Or what is that, like exhibitions?
German league.
German. Yeah. Okay.
And Tiafoe serving volleys after the second serve, and I guess the surprise factor, the net presence, it does put some thoughts into Kovacevic's brain, and it's 3 games all. But yeah, now it suddenly feels like it's Tiafoe who's like hanging on. The entire 3rd set, we were just kind of waiting for when will Francis win this, basically. Like we were just looking, okay, is it going to be this game? Is it going to be in the tiebreak?
Yeah.
And it's very different right now. But of course, it's just one break for Francis, and we might return to that situation. So
yeah,
it's still nothing obvious, and basically one error can change the entire outcome.
I'll tell you who else is not going away quietly in their career, and that's Roberto Bautista Agut, who's still showing he has some signs of life, 4th round.
Today was, honestly, like Nardi should have won at least 2 sets.
I think so, yeah. 2 tiebreak sets, and he was up 5-2 in the 3rd as well, and
5-2 in the 3rd, and there was also that second set. Yeah, it was a disaster really for the young Italian.
Yeah. I do expect Shelton to win that 2nd round match, but yeah.
If Kovacevic beats Tiafoe, Shelton is going to be extra motivated to play Novak in the 4th round.
Yep.
What sort of celebration?
After the spicy finish last year.
Yeah, and I wonder what sort of celebration he would come up with if he beat Novak. This is Maiev in court.
Oh, that one's old though.
Yeah. I mean, some sort of, version of it. All right, 4-3 Kovacevic. Once again, the pressure will be on Tiafoe when we return after the changeover. Part of me wants to see the 5th set. Part of me just knows that the body is at the brink.
Yeah, 4:05 a.m. on the first day of the main draw. Good for you.
I still try to watch that Gogbosh Wu match, in Zhangjiagang. I will, but it's of course very different when you can just kind of sit back and relax rather than sit here and talk. Him and Diego Schwartzman being 5'6" or 5'7", but able to compete well in the elite events. Baez, okay.
Diego Schwartzman is probably like 5'5" at best. Like there's no way he's 5'7".
Do you think he truly believes that he can beat Novak? I want Shelton to win, but I can't imagine the confidence required, especially after last time. That's an interesting question. I mean, the vibe that Ben Shelton gives off, like he believes, but we never really know how it is. Actually, I think he should believe in himself if he's playing Novak. Like Ben Shelton, if you're someone like Ben Shelton, if this is your play style, you should be aware that like if you execute well, you can beat anybody. If he's not aware of that, then it's a problem with his mindset, I think, rather than the other way around.
Yeah, I think he's more of the kind of guy that's, I want to say like super hyper focused on results. He's more about just like trying to get better and improve his game, and then like long term. I think he believes more in his long term potential, where he thinks he believes like the results will just come as a result of that.
Did he find it? I think so.
I think he did, yeah. He'll be. None of the holds have been easy for him this set, so.
Yeah. The roles have definitely shifted. But, well, just gotta keep holding, and you never know. Approaches again to the Kovacevic backhand, and this is the position he actually kind of likes on that pass. I think he can be a bit angry at himself for not making it.
Yeah. Tiafoe with an ace and looking to hold it off.
Not yet for all. There was also another game in this set where I think Tiafoe was 40 love up, and then it suddenly got tricky, so desperately wants to avoid that. Yeah, I think it is kind of what it takes, Dave. I think that in order to really like believe you can be the best player in the world, you gotta be a bit crazy. Of course, most of these crazy guys who really believe in it will never make it. But if we're talking of Shelton, you know, he's got the talent. I don't know if a game that will give him the most possible consistency at the top, but at least he's got the talent to back it up. And 4 games all briefly interesting at 40-30, but Tiafoe closes it out pretty swiftly. Yeah, as usual, I really cannot say anything about the questions that we're getting in the chat about can Tiafoe end it here or something. I mean, they're clearly in the they have a bit of a betting vibe to them, and well, we don't know. That's why we're watching.
Baez wins the tiebreak, so he's through to the second round.
Sebastian Baez, yet again, at the US Open second round. Schwartzman lost. Someone has to keep it up. What a rally here as well.
Whoa.
No way. Oh, wow. He actually did.
Wow.
I was about to go on a rant, maybe not a rant, but like a monologue on how well Tiafoe played at this point. But no, actually.
Tiafoe, yeah, he did. That was a very good forehand approach. It was the exact kind that had been winning him all those type of points. But this time, wow.
It wasn't even close to the line from that angle we were watching this from. It weren't. I wasn't sure, but like on the replay, you can see it wasn't even close.
Damn.
Kova is really hitting everything at the moment.
Yes, indeed. Jera up a break in the fourth. Chamova is also up a break in the final set after getting bageled against Aleksandrova.
Aleksandrova matches never fail to bring a roller coaster.
Yes. Look at that. Kovacevic has 100% of his first serve points.
Nine
this
set 4.
set.
Yeah. He will also win that one. So 40-15.
Djokovic is up with double break. 5-2
Yeah.
up.
That match never had a chance, I think.
Well, Kovacevic holds for 5-4, so this is the moment where he broke in the third set. Is he going to do it again?
Nagal serving for the third set.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Somebody doing it for India.
And maybe, just maybe, because we said some things about Sumit Nagal and how his career is pretty predictable now, that he's winning about 33% of his main tour matches and that's it. But maybe he still hasn't reached his summit.
Oh my god, no, you didn't do that. Wait for you to sum it all up for us.
Well, my excuse is it's 4:14 a.m. where I am. I don't know what your excuse is, but anyway. There's a medical timeout in Jerestruth. I don't know who yet, but there is anyway. And yeah, these are just the 4 matches we have for today on the men's slate.
Not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. I have no excuse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie to you. Jesus. Horrible.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, after this awkward silence, let's go on to Francis Tiafoe serving down 4-5 in the 4th set. As Vansh told you just before the changeover, this is the moment when Kovacevic broke last time, and well, he's going after his forehands here. But again, he he tricks himself with that drop shot again.
Yeah.
It wasn't poorly executed.
It was well done, actually. I have to say it was much better than the last time he tried it, and this time Francis gets up to it. Really nice dink redrop, and I don't think Kova was expecting it to be so short, so it really did the trick.
Maybe should have been a bit closer to the net, but
yeah, that was the first net point that he's played all set as well. But yeah, I mean, in the last 2 service games, well, actually, no, never mind, because Kovacevic did win the next 2 points after being down by 40. So we'll see if this one is like kind of an easy hold or if Kova gets into it.
You might say it's just 1 point, this first one in the game here, but well, I mean, even if he won it and Tiafoe hits 2 aces, then like it's still a relatively close game, whereas at 40 love it just doesn't feel like it anymore. So yeah, small mistakes like that definitely do matter. And it's going to be a quick hold indeed for Francis Tiafoe. 5 games all. 25 aces apparently from Kovacevic. Do you think he's ever hit 25 aces in a match? Probably not.
Probably not, actually, right? Because
against Tabilo at this year's Australian Open, like I think it's a possibility.
Okay.
But otherwise,
I think let's see if this is up there for him, because What's his ace rate in this match so far at 5-0 and the. Actually, I'll calculate it after the service game because.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is right now, but of course that's easy to count.
Yeah.
Once we just know how many points have been played on his serve. Ooh, okay. First point to Tiafoe, breaks down the backhand. $23 aces against Tabilo.
Okay. Was that a 5-setter?
5. And I was thinking about this match actually as well, but yeah, he hit 24 against Denis Kudla in 2021 at the Kerry Challenger. And also in 2022, he hit 25 in that match he had against Bing Wu, but not the final you mentioned you watched, but in Indianapolis in July, when he saved 6 match points. Bing Wu, I mean, saved 6 match points in that final. So then he hit 25 as well. So he needs one more to have a personal best. But well, he's gonna have to do it quickly because if he gets broken here, the game, the match might be over before he has a chance to hit that 26th ace. Francis approaching the net here again. The backhand pass, just not much that Kova can do out of that position with it. And this is the clearest chance maybe that Tiafoe has had to wrap up this match so far.
Yeah. By the way, Greek Sport did end up breaking the goal, so. They're in the third set break.
Well, at least that's something. For the Indian, Greek Sport will be very desperate to end the match then. As well, it wasn't even obvious he would get to that tiebreak. Let's see, Kovacevic finding the line there, I think, but now Tiafoe is on top, and yeah, he blasts the backhand cross. Beautiful stuff. He's really gathered. It seems like he's really gathered everything for this game. And 3 breakpoints in a row.
He's found that energy again as well, so now he just has to carry it to the finish. Oh, just missed that backhand cross-court pass.
Yeah, didn't really hit it clean. If it landed, it would have been quite lucky, but just a bit wide. 2 more breakpoints now.
Second serve. Pretty deep second serve, followed by inside out forehand that he went for, and it caught the line. That looks like, right?
Holy hell, yeah!
Wow, what a shot! What a gutsy second serve as well. So he saves 2 of them. Oh, and this time that same play, ends up working, but Francis goes right at Kova.
Yeah, there was that small issue with the direction as well. Like he just went straight at Francis, whereas the forehand corner of the older.
Yeah, I thought originally he was gonna go cross. I think that would have worked out better for him.
Actually, you know what? I just said older of the Americans, but is Tiafoe even older than Kova? I guess he is, but not by much, right?
No, I think Tiafoe is older. Yeah, Tiafoe is like 5 months older, maybe, or 6 months older.
Yeah, not by much.
I think January 1998. So Kova is August 1998.
But I mean, Tiafoe feels like he's been on tour for 10 years, and he has. And Kova, of course, having left college, it's very different. That's why I kind of stopped mid-sentence, and I was like, wait, that's not actually clear that Tiafoe is older.
Tiafoe's been around forever. That's true. Like a decade, basically. So So, well, if Tiafoe wins this, you can go to bed. Or you can watch your challenger match.
I am going to watch. Yeah. I have some brief thing to do, which I could technically probably do in the morning as well. But I want to like get this done while watching Gombosh Wu. If it goes really long, I probably won't watch it until the end. But if it's just like a regular sized match, I will probably stick to it and then go to bed. Yeah. During the US Open, that sort of sleeping system will be quite fine.
Breakfast going on in the third set between Timova and Aleksandrova. So, quite hard to know how that one's going to go. Arina Sabalenka waiting in the wings for the conclusion of this one. As that's the last match we have on the women's side that is still yet to start. Super Dave says body serve isn't used enough in singles. I think more players are using it now. Especially when you have the differences between the return positions where you see players adjust, like move back. Oh, serve and volley is open. Move in. Well, now you can hit a body serve and sometimes even go bigger on the second serve.
You remember the net court that Frances Tiafoe saved the match point with against Holger Rune in Cincinnati? I mean, if Kova somehow wins this, if Kova somehow wins this, this will be karma, but...
Okay, double match point, but the second serve here. Kova's going way back on the forehand, put some more air under it. They're in a backhand to backhand rally, but Frances runs around and goes for a forehand. Inside in, but misses it. So, what is the match time for this? Like over 3 hours for sure, right? Like 3:10, 3:15, something like that.
Yeah, something along these lines.
Yeah. All right. Match point number 3. This time Kova going back on the first serve as well. Now he's going way back on the second. Trying to use that same strategy. And this time he gets the double fault. Look at that.
3 match points. So maybe we'll be back to that net court.
Yeah. That would be quite brutal. If that net court is indeed what ends up turning this one. Tiafoe, let's see if he can buy a first serve. No, he can't. 124, but just missed the spot down the tee. Second serve here. Forehand to forehand rally. This time Tiafoe really going after that one down the line. And Kova unable to get the back and play. So he had to go there, go after it, because the ball was there to attack. Surely, fourth match point, 3 hours, 15 minutes. This is where it finishes. Let's see. Kova going back on the first serve again. Frances doesn't make the tee serve. So second serve. He's going to serve it out wide, but Kova's going to run around the backhand. He's going to find a really good forehand inside out handle. And then he's going to go forehand inside in winner.
Whereas the US Open said Europeans don't worry about missing the night session on Ash. You can go to bed. Kovacevic and Tiafoe are saying, Damien, you gotta be watching this. Yeah. Sorry, bro. Again, the first serve is long.
Yeah.
Maybe even wide as well. I'm not sure.
Okay, there another pretty intense rally here, but yeah, Kovacevic was a little bit rushed as well when he was trying to go for that slice, kind of on his back foot.
Yeah, I think he was kind of like Honestly, I was expecting he might win the point with the previous forehand. It seemed
Yeah, I
like
thought so
Francis
too.
has very little time to get it over the net.
But
And
actually, Francis was able to stay low and absorb that pretty well. So
yeah,
good job there. But again, he can't buy a first serve on a match point. So Kova going back again, of course.
like 4 missed in a row, I think.
And then forehand inside out, but this time he doesn't quite find that really good angle. And Tiafoe goes line, and yeah, Kova misses the forehand in the net. But what a match! 3 hours and 17 minutes. Tiafoe had to work really hard, especially sets 3 and 4. They have a good hug and exchange at the net. Good friends. And yeah, Francis is still alive, but wow, that was tough, especially sets 3 and 4. And he had a little bit of an energy dip at the start of the fourth. But apart from that, this was a really good contest and pretty entertaining overall. Fun rallies.
Yeah, I mean, Francis, after the first 2 sets, like when he was this laser focused, I was about to call him like a dark horse for this event. Now, I'm not so sure. Kova definitely stood up to him. He, some of these shots that he hit, I think we're gonna remember them even at the end of the event, which says something in an event where, like, yeah, there's like so many players, so many turns, so many matches, so many great hot shots.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we have to remember as well that, like, up until 5-all in the fourth, he was the player pushing things in the decider. Like, he was the guy maybe on the hunt for breaks rather than just trying to get by. It was Francis who was doing that. So yeah, very different match in sets 1 and 2 and in sets 3 and 4.
Yes, indeed. So yeah, Kovacevic with a good send off there as he leaves Louis Armstrong. And yeah, we basically just have just Jara Struff going on and Albot Djokovic. Those are the last 2 matches really on the men's side for today.
Let's also mention who is he playing next. Tiafoe, Shevchenko, of course, for the second round.
The second round, okay.
I mean, he's the favorite, obviously. But is it that easy? I don't know. Shevchenko is just such a perplexing player recently. Like, I really don't understand the way he's been his results have been on the tour. He's not winning too many matches. He's still sort of keeping himself at a decent ranking. And sometimes he just plays excellent tennis, whereas other days he can be like garbage level. So I have no idea how he's going to play against Francis.
I don't either, honestly. I don't have too much to add. I haven't even watched him a ton this year because he just hasn't been winning anything. So we'll see how much of a threat he really is. I mean, if this was last year, I would say, yeah, wow, interesting match. But I don't know. I mean, Francis has to go into it as a pretty big favorite. But it'll still be kind of interesting because, like you said, Shevchenko, there's such a big range of ways he can play. So.
What style of play? Do you mean Shevchenko, Dave? Or, I mean, Shevchenko is like someone once described him to me like a power grinder. I mean, he just plays with a lot of intensity off both wings, really. Like, he's just like sometimes slamming his shots, but mostly, just grinding with a good heavy ball. I don't know. He does very well against guys like Hachanov, Fritz, and players like this who give him that one good physical rhythm and kind of never go away, never have anything to throw in there. I guess in that sense, you won't really like his chances against Tiafoe. I mean, the minor is very different because he has zero quality on his shots and he kind of has to take them early to attack and stuff. Whereas Shevchenko, just you can think of him as a bit of a team like thing as well. I mean, they were essentially raised by the same coach and they have some similar strengths and some similar weaknesses as well. But yeah, I wouldn't say he's close to the minor in terms of his play style. Anyway, I definitely have to run.
Yeah.
Entertaining match. I think I got more out of it than I thought I would.
Yeah. For sure. And I think Kovacevic's tennis definitely deserved that third set. And yeah, it was definitely a really entertaining one. So we'll let you go, Damien, and enjoy your challenger match with Wu and Borges. Oh wait, Wu and Borges, right? No, who
Gombos.
is it? Gombos.
Gombos.
Yeah, Borges is obviously playing this tournament. What am I saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely think you deserve that. So see you soon, and yeah, don't forget to subscribe.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.